All right, everybody, how you doing? Nemo, you should be live too. Audible.
Hello. Am I on? Am I on?
Yeah.
Do I have sound?
Let's get some sound. Everybody in chat, how is Nemo's like audibility?
Hello.
Thanks, everybody. Awesome. Good. We got a turnout already. We're just getting started. Ooh, Nemo sound is fine. All right, just let us know. We need to probably be constantly adjusting that, especially as the game audio gets loud. We get some explosions and everything. That's what we want to hear anyways. But you know, Nemo's hanging out and giving commentary, and his quality commentary. Why would we not want to hear Nemo?
Harsh.
Amen.
Who doesn't want to hear me? I mean, God.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to
So
hear
rude.
anything about that.
So rude.
Set up to auto host. Cool. Nemo sounds deeper to you? Yeah, it's going through. It like doesn't have his filters that he probably has set up on his side.
Puberty's a thing, okay? God, don't shame me.
Oh, This is a difficult time for you, isn't it, Nemo?
Careful,
Yeah.
Icarus.
Getting puberty at 32 is such a difficult thing to do.
Careful, Icarus.
It's a very unique experience, I'm sure. But
Late bloomer.
Nemo, is everything good on your end with everything? I might have just asked that, just to make sure.
I can't see the game. If you're in the game, I cannot see it.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm not. We'll switch over in just a second. But yeah, everybody, welcome. This is the big Kahuna. No, not yet. It's not the big Kahuna. This is the week 2, round 2 of the Starsector tournament. We have the I believe it is the Pirate Armada. Is it not?
Yes, this week is your Pirate Armada. Last week's was the Derelicts. And pirates have a very different theme to them than the Derelicts do.
Yeah.
Derelicts, of course, are fairly shielded and sort of there's big blockies, whereas the pirates, I think we should have a little bit of everything. As far as we know,
Yeah, as far as we know.
Party has pulled from several different sources.
Taking a peek. There's definitely some stuff in there for sure.
You've taken a peek. Oh, Tartifan specifically, he specifically forbidden me from taking a peek.
Yeah. Well.
Did he give you the secret stuff?
Dropped us the file like 3 days ago or something like that. I just ran the first wave just to make sure that everything ran correctly and that I understood the camera controls.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can see.
I will be on the same speed as everybody else in like all of 2 minutes. As soon as we get underway here.
Careful, Icarus.
Yeah.
Careful.
Thank you all for the follows. I appreciate it. We are pushing for the
Switch back to you soon to see Craig Ferguson in the corners. Like, what the hell?
50 follower mark. Yeah. But yeah, let's get in game. Overlay, fantastic. There we are. Yeah, we are doing the Prime League, of course. Today's the Prime League. Tomorrow with the Fantastic Chimney and no one is a stronger. I don't remember what he is. Thunders, I believe, in the chat. Yeah, they will be doing the underdogs tomorrow. So the Starsector doesn't end today. It's only getting started, but it's going to go on today and tomorrow. It just keeps going, and we have more weeks as well. But yeah, Nemo, who do we have for our first contestants? Our first tournament entrance to
Our first tournament entrance is this round A. So round A for this week would
Group
be
A.
Thago in the pure vanilla paired up with Ezra Skypion's ORA. Thago, of course, was one of the highest scorers from last week, got as far as wave 6, and had the honor of being eliminated by the Spore Ship.
Thago and Vera both scored the best, I believe. The only to get wave 5, right?
Yep. They got all the way to wave 6, so we got 5 points for that.
We need the chat, else Combs can't make his meme vids. Chat? Do we need chat? If that's actually the case, I can throw it up there real fast. I don't know if we actually want that. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Chat demands to be summoned. Alright, we'll bring the chat into our space, yes? We'll share space with chat very quickly.
What? No.
No? No, boo. Chat rights? Are we arguing for chat rights? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Chat is loved, isn't it?
Probably top right.
Where did I put my chat?
Where do you put your chat?
Yeah, chat. Where did I put my chat? I think I put my chat like in the middle of the right.
Hey, chat, where does he put you?
I think I put it little or right. The game froze because he's tabbed out of it. So
Yeah.
Starsector does not like being tabbed out of.
No, it's a very selfish program. But yeah,
way. That's over there. That's fine. Over
But yeah,
there.
I think unless there's any other housekeeping things, we have Thago. There's Skypion coming up first. Is there anything else you wanted to mention or talk about?
Not really. I think it's gonna be good, and we're told that this could be quite a long one, so we were to keep pace
Yes,
up.
we were told that. Yeah, that's true. We certainly have a lot of surprises for us in store, as Tartaflet has told us. That is really all I know, other than that there are pirate ships. I also heard that I think he said there were 102 variants just on his side of ships. There's just quite a few. He filled it, and was actually like up until the last second working on it, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, you say that like every single time he does that because he puts so much work into this. It's insane. So before we start, we just like to say a huge thank you to Tartaflet for the insane amount of work he puts into this.
Everybody, please shout out for Tartaflet and all of his work.
Press
The tournament.
F for Tartaflet. Press F for Tartaflet.
F for Tartaflet. The stream, the tournament wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be a thing without him. So absolutely.
Absolutely.
Game audio all right? I know I shift mine down a little bit for. Let me do just that real fast. Mine down a little bit for.
No music.
My playthrough.
I usually put 50-30 for me. That's just me.
50-30. That's. I like 50-20. How about that?
Fair enough.
The compromise.
No, you have different sound settings than I do.
Then let me kill the filler sound that we have running. Yeah. Let's look at what we've got. Just very briefly, there's definitely some highlights here. We don't need to go over every single ship. We see that the Omen's Return, that's the thing that we can talk about real quick. The formatting of the tournament is such that if I understand correctly, players are encouraged to maintain their fleet in its previous form as closely as possible, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so we see a lot of the same ships returning. We see all the Condors here that I recall.
I think they can't change. Like, they can refit the flagships, but everything else must stay the same or get removed.
Or they have to repay for it entirely. They have to remove it. Yeah.
Yeah. They remove it, or they just pay maintenance costs and everything else. But they can only refit the flagship.
See the Reaper Omen's Return. We see the full set of destroyers and Condors. We see a conquest here. I believe that is what it was added.
Yeah,
not mistaken.
I'm also like happy to see, at least so far in what I've managed to flick through. I haven't actually gone into the fights, but just like rolling through the factions, we see a lot more people going wide this week.
Yes, definitely.
Because a lot of people saw the problems of just going tall last week, so I'm happy to see people that went super wide getting a big ship in here because the Conquest was missing last week, and people who went tall last week getting a spread of frigates and destroyers as well, just to soak up damage.
Right, and this is something I mentioned a little bit. We talked about a little bit last week. Is that we kind of will see. I think we'll tend to see as the weeks go on, especially in the second and third. The fleets kind of start to look a little bit more similar as people have like more to work with, and they're adding to their fleets. They'll either, like you said, they'll either add that big ship that they were missing in their wide fleet, or they'll go a little wider to compensate for all the big ships they started off with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a single Eagle here, and besides that, I believe there aren't any changes.
I believe the Eagle is the flagship, so the Eagle will always be there.
Yeah. Oh, correct. I wonder if it was refit. Obviously, I think everybody, last I saw anyways, last stream, everybody who was participating was able to come into the chat, and so you can ask them questions, of course, especially for like details and specifics. We don't probably isn't very time efficient to go over every inch of every fit, but yeah, a lot of the ships seem to be in more or less the same state. I think the biggest change is the ORA fleet here.
Going really wide. I'm really happy to see that this week, because last week it was a couple of really big ships and not a lot else.
Cruisers.
So now we've gone a lot of destroyers. We've got 4 of the Grace classes, 6, I believe those are Blisses.
Yes.
Are they Blisses? The
Graces. Graces, and then the little ones are Mirths.
So 4 Graces and 5 Mirths, and 3 of the Revelations and a couple of Beatitudes or whatever they are. I forget the names mixed up. They're all similar to me.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy just to see them wide.
Right.
Comes also mentioned in chat just now that if you went tall last week, you had significantly less maintenance to deal with. So going tall is actually the long con.
Right.
And something has safety overrides. Or destroyers have SO and converted hangars. The Graces have SOs and a Talon wing installed, I think. Yep, they have
Oh,
saying
yeah.
SOs, converted hangar, and a Talon wing installed.
And that's where the
That'll be
talents are coming
interesting.
from. That's
That'll be an interesting
a
one.
lot of support out of. I think that's really efficient usage of that, though, the additional wideness that the fleet needs, right?
Yeah, like having fighters is always useful.
Always, always. But yeah, I believe without further ado, shift is. I'm just reorienting myself. I didn't mess with the time controls too much, but
Yeah, not a huge problem. They just hit cancel. Let's go. Like I
Right.
like seeing the conflict of this day. Yep. Hey. It is nice to see like pure. I like seeing pure vanilla because pure vanilla is deceptively strong. Everyone's like, oh, all the mods are doing. Like, no, pure vanilla
Pure
is
vanilla
really strong.
is so good. You'd think
It's
that the
so
mods would be
strong.
like all crazy. No, but it's just they're so core to the design of the game.
First things first, immediately out of the bay,
Yeah.
look, we have a renegade right there. That is a renegade, right?
Yes, I believe it is a renegade right at the
That's a renegade,
center. We
and
have
two
some
amalgams as well.
amalgams, and I forget what the smaller amalgams essentially are called. We have some dummies. Interesting skinned pirate fleet here. Definitely a neat aesthetic.
I said with pirate fleets, every faction I believe that has pirate variants can be taken in. So we might see like a lot of different ships of different fleets simply because
I think we're going to see a lot of variety. Yeah.
a lot of variety because pirates have everything, which also contributes to the 102 variants
Right.
that Tardy had to deal with. It's a nice split at the moment. They've managed to form two coherent lines either sides, and they're just pressuring the middle. And that renegade is not doing anything, so that's definitely working the advantage of the player.
The ORA destroyer is kind of taking the brunt of the work, and the cruiser's just kind of loitering. There's a group here, especially, that's kind of hugging that point and not doing much else.
Well, Sunders are down. Buffalo Mark II. Buffalo Mark IIs, of course. We must always have a Buffalo Mark II.
Pirates have a handful of those. It's mostly lashers, but I think all their buffaloes are down. Yeah, I don't see any left.
Oh, Grace is overloaded. Grace is taking damage at the top there. It's being focused by an amalgam. I think there's a call. Oop, Grace is down. Yeah, focus at the top of the screen there with the amalgam and an eagle. And I believe those are barbarians, I think. These small amalgams.
Yes, I believe that's correct. Let us know, chat. The renegade is so far not getting too much aggression, but also not putting too much out either. There's Sunder messing with it a little bit.
They are mongrels, not barbarians.
Mongrels. Thank you.
Let's go see what is that? What is the amalgam doing on the left side? It's tearing something apart there. That condor is getting ripped to pieces
Yes.
by that.
Already losing some condors. Just the one so far, two down here, hugging the conquest. We're seeing the conquest really readily.
Chat is yelling zoom in.
Zoom in, yes. We're seeing
They want to see
the
death. They want blood.
the
They want blood.
conquest putting
They're
out a
not
lot of
shy about saying
missiles, but not really offering too many broadsides. See what's going out on the RA side. We see a Dominator getting engaged, getting pretty low in the hull. Oop, torps coming in.
Reapers coming in. Oh, just shot down by the point defense. Dominators have a crazy amount of point defense. You can put if you put just two dual flag cannons in there, that's already a crazy amount of point defense.
Right. Oh, we see a
Oof.
Hammerhead getting pushed on, and Enforcer coming in, bailing it out.
But taking a lot of damage from the amalgam.
Oh, the Renegade.
Oh, the renegade. The renegade did not do much.
It's just
at
gonna
all.
eat the Reapers. Yeah, it did
Reapers
hardly
come in.
anything.
Is that a mirror matchup? No, it's not quite mirror matchup. The
Not
enemy
quite.
Thunder has 3 gravitons. But those Thunders from last week were those that we really enjoyed last week.
Yeah. You were certainly a big fan, and I'm definitely getting sold on them for sure if I wasn't already. Very impressive loadout. Oh. There's the Conquest. Offering, it's getting in it.
You get from 2 angles where you can't shield both of them. Yep. Oh, it's a Locust Conquest as well. Locust Conquest, a couple of Gauss cannons, a couple of
Mjolnirs, yep. Flak cannons, double flak and single flak, and blasters, right? Antimatter?
Heavy Lesters, yep. Omen's doing work as well. Oh yeah, Omen's have.
Oh yeah.
Omens have antimatter omens. That is true. Dominator is down, Lashes is down, something's going down, that Dominator is looking back.
But there's still a nice chunk of their fleet up here, and the ORA are really struggling. I think they've lost a decent number of destroyers. And I don't see much sign of their cruisers. I would zoom out, but too much going on with this Eagle here, getting pressured very heavily. Dominator about to go down. Yep.
Yep. Do not go overload in front of a high hill.
No, and we look like we're pushing into the cleanup phase for sure.
Yep, spaceships. The Omen is there, just quite happily just shutting down the amalgam completely with the EMP. Look at the fighters from the backside. Look at that. Oh, by itself, just completely just shutting down everything that thing's got.
Yeah, they're stripping armor. There goes the hull.
Yep. Oh, that's just there.
Poof.
Whoop, and zoom out. See what we got. See what's wave 2.
And that's wave 2. What do we have left? All the cruisers are alive, I believe, for the ORA.
Yeah, the ORA cruisers didn't seem to do much.
No, they didn't. They got pressured a little bit, but what do we have there on the... Oh!
Hello. I didn't... Oh my god, already? Wow, Charlie's not pulling any punches. We have an Inferno and a Dragon and a couple of... and a Shark.
Burning right in. Oh no, got caught on the shield.
Got caught on the shield. There it is. There it is. I forgot the name of that thing. Forgot the name of it. Someone tell me what it is. Niagara. It's the Niagara class.
Niagara.
The Niagara.
Pirate wall, yeah.
The pirate wall. Here's the pirate wall. Wave 2.
Yeah, it looks like the battle's just kicking off. Let's take a look at the pirate wall real fast, yeah?
What have you got here?
Bit with autocannons, mortars,
that's a
pylons.
It's like it's the heavy autocannons and heavy mortars. All
Yeah.
you need. It's so many of it. Solid loadout. That's got everything you need on it.
For sure, for sure. Nice balance of damage there, and I'm sure plenty of armor.
And the scary thing, if you remember from my last campaign, people who watched my last campaign, the Niagara just does so much work. It is so resilient. Several hammers coming in there.
It's a bit of a skirmish on the right side here, but over here on the left, oh, they're backing off a little bit now too. Just as I say that.
I think the Conquest Locusts are actually doing a lot of work because there are a lot of fighters coming out from the Dragon.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely the right choice for the Conquest. I like it a lot.
There's a foray right there. Look at the foray right there as well with the hammer barrage. Just staying there and just trying to get some shots into the side of the Conquest, but it's not going to manage. The Conquest is actually quite sensible with its shield.
Is that an HVD on it?
Yep, it's going to have HVD, but again, the foray is all about the hammer
Right,
barrage.
right.
With all the predictions and hammer barrages, that's like huge. Oh, I just managed to not hit the engine. Oh, got hit by its own hammer barrage. Hammers flying from both directions here. Hammers are now the new Reapers, basically. They're just plentiful and useful.
Ooh. Nice hits there. An overload, but nobody capitalized on. The player fleet has wrapped around. We have a lot of Omens working the flanks, but
A lot of
still...
destroyers have gone down. We're just down to 2.
Yeah. It's all about this fight at the center.
High tide down.
Ooh, Forcer coming in, being aggressive. A lot of Reapers.
Manoing the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Dragon's like, you know
Giving
what?
it to him
You're
for
a
sure.
Dragon. I don't care.
Yeah, fully overloaded.
And completely wrecked it. Just out of range of the Mjolnir cannon though, but it shouldn't make a difference. That Dragon should be going down fairness. Or not.
Or not, yeah. Gets back up. Hard Flux is coming down. All right, we might see. Ooh, ooh.
Lost the Omen there.
A lot of hammers coming in, tripping the armor on the rear there.
The Infernus, again, taking damage. The Infernus is an Infernus. Oh, don't stay in front of that thing. Do not stay in front of that.
No,
Niagara.
little Sunder.
You will melt. It will not take long for you to melt in front of that Niagara. Another Omen down. The Dragon's finally
Ooh,
down.
the Eagle eating it now. Yeah, the Dragon goes down to an Omen, I believe. Or maybe in the Enforcer. I didn't see.
Possibly the Enforcer. Sunder gets out. And just try again. You just try to put as much damage down on this.
Niagara tanking. What's going over on the top? Very quickly. Wrapping up. Oh. Alright. Was able to catch that. There's the foray.
They managed to isolate and kill it. Another foray still alive over there.
Coming back to the center of the battle. Still, most of the capital ships for the pirates are up. And at least taking the punishment. Look at that. There it goes. The Niagara finally down, yeah?
Finally down. The Niagara, they take some hell of a beating. So does the Infernus.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that the pirates will have a lot of. The bigger ships can just take a hell of a beating. Just keep on
But finally.
Oh yeah, the Infernus explosion actually takes out the Stalker as well. So that doubles up collaterals there.
Very effective, very effective. Good efficiency out of this fleet. And we have the final cleanup.
That wall didn't seem the same as the derelict wall. No, but the derelict wall is a capital ship, whereas the Niagara is just a cruiser.
Oof. Beautiful
Nice
explosions.
whiteouts there.
Yeah. Oh!
It's the Pather fleet!
The path has come.
We have the Pather fleet. The Pather fleet is here. That always comes along
Nemo.
with the Pirate Armada.
Nemo, do you see a single duplicate ship?
No, I do not.
I'm looking.
Not right now. Like right now, they're pretty much all individuals, and they're all scary.
It's like
And
one of
Pather onslaught as well.
one of every like Pather variant that exists in moddom, and then some I haven't even seen before. That's really cool.
What's that one? The big one, the other captain, not the onslaught, the other captain.
Yeah, the other one.
I don't recognize that.
I've seen it before. It's is it Mycerin? I'm not sure. But all right.
It's Castella from Talon.
Castella from Talon. Oh, that's very new then.
Very new.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, just
basically,
barely
as
dodged.
As these are Pather ships, I will bet you that every single one of them has safety overrides.
Yeah.
Including
The way that
onslaught.
they're
The
just-
onslaught should not be allowed to have an safety overrides, but I'm betting you that's the onslaught that lets you have it.
Athletic path exception. Yeah, for sure. That's their thing, right?
It's the IVB, the Athletic Path Onslaught IVB, the only ship onslaught, the only capital that can take safety overrides. It is the only capital in the game that can take safety overrides.
And you can't even remove it. It's just built in, right? Yeah.
Yep. It's there. If you're playing a Pather fleet, why would you ever remove it?
I have no idea. It is a gift.
It is a gift from God.
Yeah, very proudly. How do you feel about the overall effectiveness of the player fleet here as they get into the thick of it? Onslaught.
They're standing up quite well. There's even a Pather dram there. That's just amusing. They're standing up quite well to it. They're clearing out the smaller ships quite easily.
Yeah.
And
So.
And as Snatcher just mentioned in the chat, of course, is that if you have a safety override on everything, lack of range is going to be a huge flaw you're going to have.
Right.
Safety overrides, of course, just decimates all your effectiveness beyond a certain range.
I think one thing that's kind of my concern about this fleet, about this torpedo meta kind of strategy, is that like a lot of your kill power is front loaded. If you end up facing a fleet that that can endure, that can weather, then we might see some issues with the fleet. You might see them run into some trouble.
There's also Sunders there. There's two Sunders there.
You only have so many Reapers, so many Hammers. The fighters will run out, or at least run down eventually.
CR will run out. But yeah.
And yeah, CR is the ever-present attrition factor, right?
Yeah, that's one thing that said. Even though I think the match has been a long time, CR is still absolutely the ultimate. Like, yeah, this match will end no matter what.
Right. Nemo, I don't think the ship wants to go down.
No, it's the Pather onslaught. The Pather onslaught is ridiculously difficult to take down.
And look at it just egress out of that situation. Just nope. All right, I don't want to be here, and it just dances away from that flank.
It has the armor to take the hits. I'm sure it has heavy armor as well.
Oof.
Why would you not take heavy armor on an onslaught?
Yeah.
Wind forcer down up there.
Yeah, clean up some of the flank.
Another Sunder down. That Castella is taking names basically.
Yeah.
I can't even tell what it's equipped with.
I think somebody says Omen's down, round over. I believe that's correct. All of the Omens are out.
Oh dear.
I'm surprised how long the ORA. I guess I am, and I'm not surprised. The ORA ships are tough. A lot of ORA destroyers have lasted this long.
Yeah, ORA ships are tough ships. They are,
Yeah.
especially the cruisers and higher. They're quite tough.
Ooh.
Oh, nice hit.
Just
there,
short of an
but-
overload.
Just a little bit, but again, you safety overrides, just take your shield down and immediately. Oh! I believe that thing has a hammer barrage in front of it, and it can dash forward as well. Yeah, that is murder.
Wow,
That is
calculated. Just right on top of that enforcer, huh?
Just dash into that and unload your hammer barrage into something's face.
That is all the Sunders
That is
as well.
painful.
Single Thago did a lot of trading. I think just an Eagle and a Hammerhead for Thago, and then it's now the ORA of the late game. Oh, there's a Condor alive still? Just a single Condor? Yeah.
Condor, hey! The ORA is going to make things work. Well, again, the the Onslaught is just taunting now, but it's like, yeah, here, have my engines. Look at my engines. Attack my engines. Where's the Conquest gone?
Yeah, that's what we're not seeing a lot of, right? This big, expensive
quick zoom out. Let's find out where it's
capital ship
Ah, it's had its
got
it's
pulled away
no, it's attacking.
by
It's attacking.
Venture.
A single 4A LP. A single 4A LP just distracted the
Four ships.
Conquest.
There's another Hammerhead left alive though, because yeah, got pulled away from the fight.
Epic distraction techniques by the Panthers. Well, the Onslaught is not much left.
Yeah, really taking advantage of that safety override, huh? That's what it's good for. At least one of the things it's good for, especially if you're a smaller ship. But I think we're gonna see the Onslaught go down.
Doom's up over there.
But this thing is still alive. What was it called?
Castella.
The Castella.
Yeah, definitely has the hammer barrage there and a dashing with which to capitalize on it.
Its active ability has the kind of Mora visuals on it, so I assume there's some kind of like either collision effect associated with it or defensive ability capability. Oh wow!
Nice hammer barrage by those predictions there. Just
caught it out.
Timed that.
Yeah.
That's perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. Wave 4, and now we have the
it's a mix. It's a mix.
Another Castella right there.
A proper pirate Castella, yeah. And then we have some Shadow Yards pirates.
I think this is faction pirates.
Yeah.
High-end pirates, high-end pirates, high-tech pirates, faction pirates.
We have some Cater here, the Cater versions. I see a few of their ships. Yep. More Shadow Yards. Lots of Shadow Yards, but not exclusively, no.
No, they are mod pirate ships.
Right.
There's pirate sabers from Tyrador mod. Pirate Shadow Yard ships.
Very cool. Some Wrens in there. The big mining ship. I always forget what that one's called.
Yeah. What's that little one over there? Just above the saber, below. I'm pointing at my screen now. Yeah, to the very top of your screen. Very little one is flying out of the.
I'm not sure.
That looks cool, I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
I like it.
I'm a fan.
Badger Mark II, apparently. Oh, Poison Ivy as well.
Are we gonna see this hammer go down there trading back and forth?
That's a Tumbleweed or a Poison Ivy, I can't remember. That might be the Tumbleweed. Poison Ivy is unique.
Conquest getting into it. Oh. Alrighty.
Absolutely, we make use of it. The Conquest is going to spend a lot of the time last round just dealing with a single thing at the bottom.
And also, definitely before this over, can't refrain from mentioning that very impressive ORA main armament.
Oh yeah, but look, I think ORA we don't have a lot of variants in their weapons, but what weapons we do have are
very effective, yeah. It's a neat weapon. It, I believe it has just a slight bit of tracking on it, but more importantly, when it detonates from a certain distance from its target, the wave will actually angle towards its target regardless, within a certain cone, I believe. A very impressive weapon, and can definitely catch you off guard if you're not used to it. Like if you run into it in the campaign here. Obviously, the AI has some idea how to deal with it.
Sunders mentions quite accurately that you can probably click on the ship and just see it load out as well, which helps out a lot. Yeah, the invocation was also used for allies and track.
Right, yeah. One of the benefits of the missile rules.
That looks like... That is the ghost cannon.
They're getting pushed back, yeah?
Yep, they are.
Definitely backpedaling here. What's going on over on this flank? The Conquest too?
I think they are feeling their. They are just feeling. Ooh, that was a elevation taking
big hits.
Wow.
More missiles coming in. It's still overloaded. Ooh.
Yeah, it lost 70% of its hull in like a second. Then lost a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Even on Reckless, the AI will start figuring out that actually we're losing, and they will naturally just hang back.
Yeah.
No matter what personality you send them, like suicidal is not a personality type yet. They will naturally realize that they are not doing well, and they will naturally start holding back. And they think they are. They just realize that they're not doing well.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Conquest getting pressured, and it just keeps backpedaling, and it has the firepower to just keep doing this. This is what the Conquest really is for. This kind of kiting, long-range gameplay, just those guns. Yep.
Sadly, it's just not focusing on a target long enough to be able to kill it. Oh, it just tried to fight off a hammer barrage there. I'm not sure what happened. That was scary. Suicidal is a personality type where players don't get it. Possibly.
Really neat weapons on the Castella. I'm not familiar with.
Those I don't know. Yes.
Look at that. Definitely building up that flux.
Oh, those are the. Oh, I forgot what they're called. I forgot what that's called. It's been a while since I've played with any mod ships. Probably should get it started again. Yeah, they are urchins. They are the urchins. They're just rapid fire. Kinetics. Mag-based fragmentation, long-range artillery.
Oof, what a mouthful.
Yeah.
We have hammers being traded on both sides. We have a bit of a line established. I think the fighters for the pirates are doing them a lot of favors. Them having fresh fighters available. And also those are swift burst launchers, I believe, from maybe the Cater mod. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, they're definitely taking a couple of 70% off their revelation in a single barrage.
A lot of explosive damage left for the pirate fleet.
That Conquest needs to get in there and actually start.
It really does.
Swifts are disassemble, reassemble, I believe. Fair enough.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm just reading chat.
Yeah.
So it looks like wave 1 is just pirates. Wave 2 was Furnace and Niagara. Wave 3 was Lashers, and wave 4 are mod pirates. The RA is just hanging back now. It's a bit. It feels very nervous.
Conquest is fit in such a way that it has what it needs to survive, especially if it gets heavily pressured, and it's definitely working in its favor, but not, like, even now, within range of enemy combatants.
You can see low CR numbers as well. That Eagle's in 14, this Conqueror I think is on 14. Conquest is about 30-something. CR numbers are definitely dwindling. They are definitely
seeing,
dwindling. Weapon malfunctions are hitting in. It's going to be a cleanup wave, I think.
I think so.
Switches are really hanging back for some reason. I wonder.
The pirates just hit 70 CR.
It's not, there's not much else to. Yeah, I think the ships realize they're being outranged by the pirates and therefore they're not closing in. 17% on the Conquest, 3% on the Eagle, 1% on loads of other ships now. TRs have hit 0 on Grace.
The Eagle is about to lose its shields, is it not?
Yep, the Eagle lost its shields. Everything's on 0, pretty much apart from the Hammerhead and the Conquest.
Bunch of the ORA ships as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, ORA's all hit 0. The Hammerhead has a bit left, and the Conquest is on 10, 9. Yeah, this is just a timer now. Might as well speed through it, I guess.
I think so.
What's been happening here.
Oh yeah. Pirates are gonna take their sweet time about it too.
Sadly, yeah.
Try and catch the fighter waves come in. There goes the shields. I think we'll see the next wave.
Yep, there you go. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 Hammerheads. The point defense is trying to help out, but can't really do a lot.
It's too much, yeah. But I think, are there more fighters coming in?
Oh, a couple of missiles here and there, but
They're just gonna pick away at it. Death by 1,000 cuts, I guess.
yeah.
Oh no, the pylons.
Oh, it's got no hull. There you go. Conquest is down.
There it goes. I think that's the only hope for this fleet. Oh, 2 cruisers simultaneous.
And flees in full retreat. And impossible ships cannot retreat in this mode unless they manage to be in the retreat area the exact frame the check is made.
Interesting.
But, yeah, that's why occasionally you do have ships retreating, because if they happen to be in the retreat area exactly when the retreat check is made, they will be able to retreat, because that happens before the no retreat order is given out.
Oh, the way it's coded, right?
Yeah, and that was round. Oh, technically, they reached round 4, so that's 3 points.
3 points for Thago.
And Azure Skypion.
I think that went well, though. All things considered, you can't say that.
That was I think it ramped up a lot faster than we thought.
Yeah, I think that's the sense I'm getting, or what I'm trying to say.
Wave 1 is like, okay, Renegade Wave 1, and immediately Furnace Niagara Wave 2,
That's
then suddenly Pather Wave 3 is like, I want to see what we're gonna have later on, you know?
That third wave was really draining, I think, and yeah, and that fourth wave is just kind of a kick in the face. The second one is a big attrition fight too. It takes, I think, regardless of your kill potential or whatever, and this is probably, at least it was, one of the higher kill potential fleets. And the last round, it was Thago's. That second wave is gonna drain you a lot with those big beefy capitals.
HP tanks, absolutely. HP tanks.
The next that we have, I believe, is Vera and Sunrasha.
Yeah, Vera's Junk Pirates and Sunrasha's mid-tech, or Vanilla plus Straight Weapons Pack mid-tech. Again, Sunrasha went very tall last week with literally the victory and 2 drovers, and now you said, you know what, we're going to have 3 hammerheads and 4 sunders, another hammerhead, another sunder, another hammerhead, and an eagle. Just because.
Right. And we have the return of this victory. It now has an escort, I believe. Right?
Now has a fantastic escort and has a lot of ships there in the background.
And we see, I believe that was what you termed as the long game being played. I would.
Yep, and then we have...
It was just the victory, 2 drovers, and yeah.
I don't think it was maybe 1 hammerhead last time, something?
I think there might have been a kite last time, or something,
yeah. There was a single kite, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Like
yeah, we have,
I think we're going to be good.
For sure. I'm not super familiar with the Junk Pirates stuff, but let's just dive right into it.
Junk Pirates, I think, added an extra... went for a second capital ship,
yes.
I believe.
And then, the smaller fleet looks up. Yeah.
Go. Oh, and there you go. Immediately come in, and there you go. The Renegade straight down the middle. Couple of the Mongols and Ogams in the background. This is unlike the Lasha, which was all unique variants. This one's a mirror matchup. The Renegades on the middle, and the left and the right sides are exactly the same. So if they split evenly, basically every fleet has to deal with half the fleet and then combine to deal with the Renegade.
Looks like the Renegade is sniffed out the victory, though. Is headed in that direction, and that's definitely what we want to see. Yeah, going for it.
Yeah, we want to see the victory and that Renegade just duke it out. At which point the victory should win.
The victory should absolutely win, yeah, but it might not even make it there. It's taking a lot of aggression here from some cheeky destroyers. Yeah. Ooh.
What are those Sunders equipped with? I was trying to look it out. I didn't really figure it out.
It looks like dual autocannons, like tons of them. We'll take a look in a second here. But the Renegade fighting off perhaps more than he can chew.
Victor didn't get a look in. That Renegade could complete lightning guns with some of the Sunders as well.
Overloaded. We'll be able to get his shield up in time. No, nothing.
Kamikaze Renegade. Much like last time, that Renegade does not seem to have a lot of an effect.
No. Last time it just kind of didn't engage very actively, and this time it did the opposite, and it wasn't effective. Yeah. But yeah, battle is just kicking off, kind of slow, tentative skirmish phase. Let's take a quick look at that Sunder fit. Yeah, autocannons.
Cutlasses, triple cutlass.
Oh, okay. And then are those expended Reapers?
Very short range, but there's a lot of damage if it gets up close.
Yeah. People asking if the Sunder is SO. They seem quite quick, yeah?
Well, Snasha is in chat, so you can ask Snasha.
But yeah.
They are. It's an SO Cutlass. SO Cutlass. Which is crazy. All the destroyers are SO, apparently.
All of them.
All of them. You can tell by the red engines, apparently.
Oh, yes.
Of course you can. Yes, that's true. They're all SO'd. The desperation play says Sunders. Well, I'm guessing taking damage now. Let's not lose any ships in the first round, guys. Come on.
It was possible, for sure. No need for it. Ooh.
Again, if that Sunder gets in, it'll do a lot of damage, especially with the high energy focus that the Sunders get.
Yeah, the mostly vanilla ships, those destroyers, I think, are definitely a lot of killing power here, especially early on. Very aggressive ships.
Energy Daka. Absolutely.
The Junk Pirates getting in here. They have a nice death blob pushing in.
just tearing things apart. The Mongol down there, and Eagle down there. Slunder's down, enemy Slunder's down. That Dominator is just getting, you know what, just sitting in front while overloaded in front of the capital. That's not going to do anything good.
There goes the Dom.
The Salamanders didn't even get, they were turning around to hit the Dominator engine, didn't get to look in. They managed to flame out the Infernus though.
Yeah.
Most of the Infernus engines. Something's got a lot of needler fire there. Something is deploying a lot of needler fire.
I'm not seeing it yet. You gotta point it out to me. Oh, this?
It hit the Infernus, whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
It might be the Victory. The Victory had a load of needlers. It doesn't. I think the Victory might have a lot of needlers and stuff on it.
I'm trying to remember its fit, but it also could have just changed from last, so that might not be reliable information. But that is wave 2, all wrapped up. Let's take a quick look at the Victory. Oh.
Yes, double heavy needlers. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, 4 heavy needlers. Lots of lines. That's 4 heavy needlers. That's a lot of needlers.
That is a lot, yeah. It is a strong wave 1, I agree. 4 Inferno Mervs, too. Ooh.
4 Inferno Mervs.
Caught with the shield facing the wrong way. We have one of the junk pirate ships.
Also, the Victory kept its echo casters from last week as well. It must have not refitted at all, because if you refit, you have to get rid of all the ally weapons.
That Thunder was a sight to behold. Did you see the way it just ate into those bombers? That was interesting. Not what I expected to see there. There's
Oh, look at that needless storm.
Yeah.
Victory just put out. It's crazy.
We are seeing the Victory trying to get into it. Ooh.
Maximum drive coming in. This is what the Victory's supposed to be doing. Oh, Sabo's on the dragon.
There we go.
But
high on flux.
The dragon is a long ship. The dragon is a long ship, and it gets hit by the entirety of the echo casters. The echo casters just tear straight through the dragon, just shutting everything down. Everything. That dragon
sure its armor is hurting.
There's a massive ion weapons just go straight in and just turn everything off.
Support Eagle, bringing the ion arcs. Oof, just all along the bow.
Ooh, takes several hammer hits on the Victory though by Perdition Wing. So the Victory, the front of the Victory just lost a lot of armor there.
There goes the first capital ship.
Yep, dragon is down.
We do
the Nagra's staying back. They've changed focus because last time the Nagra was very aggressive. Now that Nagra is staying back with the Infernus.
I believe the way it opened up last time, it just boosted forward and knocked. It got caught on the shields, didn't it? But it was ready to go. But yeah, they switched roles a bit and kind of hurting the pirate fleet, but to the benefit of our players for sure. We like to see it.
The Hellfire cannon is there, just slowly firing. The Infernus just does a lot of damage. Oh, there you go. That's triple ion on the ankle. Just shuts down whatever it shoots at, basically. Triple ion beams just shut down.
It's shifting here, only half its engines. Oh, there it goes. Back up again. It's gonna back off probably. I would back up if I were him.
Ooh, Hellfire shot straight into that Eagle. Love explosions. I love explosions.
I think this is a pretty tidy wave too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So far, anyways.
I think they've definitely scared like the Nagra just not doing a lot this round, which is definitely working to advantage. The Victory is just staying at range and just pelting the Infernus with its high explosive weapons.
Still a dangerous ship though. If a destroyer gets too close, gets too cocky, it could definitely just eat it to all those mortars and autocannons, and that's what we're about to see here, I think.
Yeah, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still alive?
Oh,
nope.
mortars. Oh, an autocannon shot sneaks in. Did you see it?
The last shot.
Oh no.
The last shot just takes it down. The Victory's sort of let the Infernus go for now. The Infernus is taking lightning gun damage as well.
About to go down.
Yeah. It is ganged up on by several different targets. The Nagra again. I think just the pirates failed to unify this time like they did last time.
Yeah, I think so. I think these big capitals kind of let them down a little bit. What happens a lot of times is the player fleet will wrap around, but this time they didn't, and it was to their benefit because the pirate fleet in this second wave is really thick, and so they kind of are stumbling over each other in order to create surface area. They're very slow ships.
Yep, and then again, how it's. I think the player captain is just scared of the way the power captain.
Yeah, that victory got right in their faces, did it not?
Yep.
And that's
Wave 3.
wave 2 over.
This is definitely a better situation to be in Wave 3 than the last round it was in.
I would agree.
They have more ships.
All the drovers still up. To my knowledge, all the destroyers. Vanilla destroyers are still up as well. As far as I can remember their numbers, yeah. Still have that support eagle going strong.
Several different chats at once here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's been trapped in the middle of. Oh yeah, that Castell is just there. Just sitting in front of something.
Oof.
Oh, hammer barrage straight to the side of that. Straight to the side of that capital.
What is this ship doing? It's a little turned around.
Thunder goes down. Kraken got hit on a lot. That also it's in a really prime place to deal with the victory. It's turning to engage the rear of the victory. That's a very, very bad for the victory.
Oh no. A little debris giving it some cover, but not enough. The victory needs to refocus. We have 2 capital ships in trouble here. One goes down.
One Kraken is down already. That onslaught is just not firing.
Oh yeah.
Its honorable onslaught will not attack anything from behind.
Too distracted by the fighters apparently. Or is this?
Yeah.
Interesting. The fighters definitely seem to mess with the AI in unpredictable ways. Oh, we have Dami just pushing in. A lot of flanks opened up here. The fleet's kind of split into 3 isolated engagements. The bulk of it is here. We have a Dami just kind of distracting a bunch of destroyers here, and the Castella tying up more ships over there. We might see a drover go down.
Second Kraken is down though. It's the second Jumpers captain is down.
Hit a hammer barrage and just
And the charge of the Castella has a built-in damper field. So whenever it charges, it takes less damage as well.
That's awesome. Similar to what you see with the Cater Remnant, if I'm not.
Again, the victory just decided not to show.
It dishonors the onslaught by just ignoring it completely, but it's to its downside.
Yeah, and it doesn't have Aegis flat cannons at the back, so it's not exactly that worried about dealing with them. It gets hit by hammers at the back, it doesn't care. It's going to Aegis flat cannons to stop them. Victory has lost most of its escorts, that's true.
Yeah. Being,
Apparently, according to Tardy, I jinxed the fleet by saying they were in a better position. That does seem to have happened, yes.
We're in the waiting room for these 2 big behemoths to finally acknowledge one another as they deal with one another's escorts.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We're dying to see the victory and the onslaught just stand off.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I have a feeling how that would go, I think.
Yeah? Yeah, I think I do too.
I think I know how that would go. And it's not going to be in the victory's favor, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But we will see.
The Castella again is caught between an Eagle and a Sunder. The Sunder's hitting it with lightning guns. The Eagle is there with iron beams on the other side. So that is gonna be a very shut down Castella, depending on where it gets its hits in. Cutlass is just dancing around in front of the onslaught. Just a little bit of damage here and there, a little bit of damage here and there. It adds up over time.
It does.
But that onslaught takes a long time to die. It takes a really long time to die.
But slowly getting chipped away by the destroyers. The victory nowhere in sight.
A couple of hammers in fact there. It's getting surrounded. I think pretty much everything else. I think everything else might be dead. Maybe the Castella's still up. Yeah, the Castella's still up. But
It might be able to drag a destroyer down with it. Yeah, Castella's still up, still dancing around. But oh wow, it's just in full retreat, and it's just gonna get dragged down.
Yep.
There it goes.
Yeah, I think several missiles just came at some point.
These poor destroyers just desperately trying to tie up the ship and managed to successfully.
Managed to. They haven't taken much damage. They're just there playing around and just enjoying themselves.
Yeah. Benefits of SO, right?
Yep. And there you go. Just flaming out the Castella's engines. It can't really
These
do
are
a
the,
lot.
heavy gunships, I believe. You just get a single one. It's quite a mean ship. A little hammerhead.
Ooh, look at those shots in the back. Yep. Those look like they should be Wenders. I don't think they are. They look like they've got like little arms, but I think they're just gun pods.
Eagle almost dead. We'll see it in the wave reset. It might be up there to the top right. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or it died? I don't see any sign of it.
Yeah, it's being pummeled now from all sides. Still hammer at the front. Will it actually overload before it dies? Nope, it'll just die.
Goes. Wave 4. Any sign of the eagle? No? I think it was lost at the very end there.
Nope, I think we've not seen the eagle. The eagle has disappeared, and now is the mod wave.
Must have gotten taken out by the Castella. I believe it was engaging over there.
Yeah, must have been done. So now they have the mod pirate wave, and they're gonna have CR problems. It's taken a long time.
They get reset.
Hopefully, victory will come in to shine now. But I see this happen a lot with the victory. Victory, we keep waiting for it to do great things. It just keeps disappointing us and not engaging the target we want it to engage.
It's just kind of the story of this tournament and the capital ships in general, is it not?
Yeah. Just attack your target.
Yeah. We see them very tentative. Just it seems like it's difficult to just like wrangle them into like applying their weight, really.
What's interesting thought is that I think last week, at least so far, we're only in round B, but in the last week, I think I saw better cooperation between the two individual factions of the group.
You feel that way? Yeah?
Maybe it might be some information bias, but it definitely feels so far that I saw better coordination between factions last week.
Yeah.
There's so many different variables from this week to last week, it's hard to draw that to make that a proper guarantee this is what happened. But it definitely feels that way to me.
Interesting pivot between these two waves. Somebody's pointing out the wave is long range and fighter heavy. Yeah, it's like contrast heavily with the previous wave for sure.
Because they're definitely testing, like, they test counters. Like, arguably, the counter to the LP, the Panther fleet, will probably fight into this fleet.
Oh no. Yeah.
They are definitely. Tardy does not make these things without thinking about them a lot.
There's a lot of time on it, and the victory is feeling that thoughtfulness.
Yeah. It's just getting pummeled upon.
Putting a lot of it into its port side, and yeah, all of its escorts are distracted or nowhere to be seen. Dead.
The throwers taking damage. Something up there. The victors again manages to get some kills, showing it's even at very low health. It still something to be scared about.
Still putting out damage for sure. Yeah, and its weapons are going to come back online here if it can survive for like the next few seconds. He's going to put out some hurt. I would like to see the weapons prioritize, like certain weapons not shoot at fighters at all.
Oh,
And there it goes down.
It didn't have enough armor. It's just taking too much punishments.
And I think player fleet is going to get cleaned up here. It's a little late to call it, in fact.
Yeah. I think we're down to 2 hammerheads. We're down to anything else? There's something at the bottom of the screen.
Something at the bottom of the screen. Another hammerhead.
Another hammerhead. Triple hammerheads. Oh, and something there.
And not anymore.
No, there was a sun there. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, but that's all she wrote, I think.
Definitely. So far, the mod pirate fleet does seem to be the gate, not necessarily the gatekeeper, because I think the Panther fleet is what's draining the resources. This is just cleaning it up.
Yeah, these two are definitely quite the combo. 2 waves.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of the waves are a decent drain on time and resources for sure. None of them are just getting cleaned up like they were with like the remnants. There were certain waves that a fleet would just, you know, kind of push right through, especially because partly because there's so many shields this time, right? We have proper ships instead of just like the heavily armored things. So a lot of these like torpedo heavy strats and stuff like that we're seeing quite popular now aren't as effective against ships with the shields. Go figure.
Yeah. You'd be happy to know that Alex, the Starsector dev, has just retweeted your stream, so...
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex, very relevant. We saw, I'm sure everybody saw, him tweeting out some details about 9.1. Very exciting.
Yeah. Everyone, he tweeted something up, people go crazy.
Definitely a lot of welcome changes. I believe like some callouts of it that I definitely like seeing is the new escort stuff that he was showing off. Yeah, big shout outs to Alex. Awesome. the escort changes, some adjustments to the colony systems in general is just getting kind of fleshed out and adjusted based on a lot of feedback, I think. Very good response to feedback that I at least am appreciating. I think a lot of people, just from what people are saying in the comments and everything, we're really happy about like the way it's being adjusted for balance. Things make a little bit more sense, right? The way the reputation system works and everything. But yeah, we have the return of no fighters needed, and the Nexus defense fleet.
Which again, I'm happy because the day I open this up and I see fighters in that fleet, it'll be massive shame.
Yes, there's no going back, right?
There's no going back. Night Chase, you said no fighters needed. I never want to see a fighter in that fleet. Ever.
You made an oath.
You made an oath. If you break it, no matter how well you do, if you put fighters in that fleet, you have no shame.
Had the same 2 brigantines before, correct? Or bicals, I'm sorry.
Yeah. One drone bicycle and one regular bicycle, and again, they've all just decided to go, you know what? Add wide is the way forward.
Yeah.
And then loads of little ships, Burias, which are new, and then the Vespers, and then the Cobra Mark, and then the Cobra Mark III as well.
Yeah.
Which is a nod to the Elite series, of course.
Yeah. We see another conquest.
The conquest. This one is an asymmetrical conquest. It looks like.
It looks like it. We have an EMP torpedo on the nose.
That is the DME kinetic MIRV.
Oh right, it's like an objectively.
Oh, I've gone. Yeah, it's kinetic. It's DME weapons on one side, then vanilla weapons on the other side. Which I like that. That's at least for the bigger slots.
Right, taking a cue from the big Kahuna we saw at the end of last stream. Wave 6 warship, I believe. Yeah. Neat.
And we have, a couple of vultures, 3 more Sunders, 2 more Drovers, making use of the DME fighters again. Night Chase, I'm sure Night Chase is just bullying his teammates. Like, I can't take fighters, you gotta take them for me.
Right. But I think with that, let's jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tense pinging at the open. Renegade coming straight down the middle. Ooh.
One day it'll work. I believe, Renegade. You have a fan in me. Someday. I don't even know what that Renegade's got. I'm not even sure it has weapons.
Yeah, let's take a look, actually. That was a good time, right? I'm not even sure it has weapons.
A couple of urchins, several. Yeah, see, it's got
Sabos, hammers, lots of swarmers. Okay.
Urchins. It's got stuff.
Interesting fit. Definitely good fit for a first wave, for sure. Very worthy. Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Mining pikes as well, yeah. There you go. Again, it rushes in and it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon. I really must be going.
Why did I do this? Why did I do this? I regret everything.
And
because boom, there you go.
And
it's pretty much one of the first ships to die.
As soon as it showed up, it's gone. Well, there we go.
It just took one look at the matchmaking and went like, nope, I'm just not gonna be here.
But good for a first wave for sure. We're happy to see.
Already.
Oh, did we?
Yep, lost the Tistmasters, lost the Hammerhead. Sunder's at 50% hull, lost a Sunder as well. That amalgam is taking no prisoners right now.
Take no prisoners.
Another Sunder's overloaded. This is dicey for the vanilla mid-tech. I just call them mid-tech because vanilla and ship up, it's not mid-tech, it's called mid-tech. It is definitely a double-tech situation.
It's a good point, Sunders. We are seeing a little bit more ion damage.
The amalgam exploded, took out a Vesper, and overloaded 2 other ships with it.
You hate to see that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so the crowd in front of the ship as it destroys.
Especially if you're a wee little frigate.
2 Mongols down, closest dog.
almost too much aggression coming out of the player ships, but they're just carving right through this fleet. Pretty efficient, at least on time.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in there. I believe it. Oh, that Bikel took a lot of damage.
It sure did. Just ate a face full of that.
That's also the drone Bikel. It lost all its frontal armor. It's that half hull at the end of wave 1. That was suicidal. That's the DME flagship at half hull at the end of wave 1.
Wow.
We're down. That is a huge hit, DME. Please hug the explosions. Bring our friend to a shape.
Explosive finish to wave 1, but yeah, some unfortunate losses there.
I believe the DME might have a shield bypass on it.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it's not tanking anything on its shields. But now it hasn't got any frontal armor either, so you know, swings and roundabouts. Very, very fast, as Falco said, but losses. Very fast round 1, but was it worth it?
But was it worth it? Right.
Was it worth it?
That ship's getting out of there in a hurry. Changes its mind very quickly.
The Cormorant's got very fast jet. Cormorant again, very nice ship.
Is that an active ability or just in general very maneuverable?
No, it has maneuvering jets with it.
Nice.
Something kind of maneuvering, but it can just get out of there really quick.
Yeah.
A lot of the DME ships just have really good maneuvering abilities. Maneuvering abilities tend to be a lot of themes with a lot of action, and when it works well, it works really well.
Mobility is very important. I think underestimated by a lot of players, at least in my experience from what I've seen. Definitely a big factor. We're seeing it play here, especially with these super wide fleets. The fleet with the wraparound generally is the one that wins.
I don't think especially because in the case of the pirates, not a single pirate jet has an Omni shield.
Right. Very true.
Apparently I'm getting quieter and quieter. Is that just me not speaking loudly enough?
Can barely hear Nemo now. I'm not sure what that's all about.
I'll try to speak louder.
I can boost you in Discord. I think that's worth pausing very quickly to do.
Yeah, one quick second, folks.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's find Nemo, and we'll just bump your volume up. Test, Nemo?
Hello. Test. My
Alright.
beautiful voice.
Production value. Better.
Professionalism.
Haha. Alright. And
Actually, you're making me blush. Also, since the sound effects of the game might be a bit loud as well, which is kind of counteracting.
okay. We'll take a look at that at the end of this wave. Or round.
Sounds good. Oh,
Match.
people praising my voice now. I'm blushing.
It is a good voice.
It's a really nice line that managed to sort out here. Again, you want to get behind the Infernus, because, you know, it can only face its field.
What's that,
shields forward.
Wrapping up the Niagara. Single ship.
That's the new missile cruiser, I believe. I'm not sure what the name of it is. The new DMA missile cruiser, which I'm dying to play around with.
Doing an excellent job.
Yeah, it's just staying there. Again, firing a couple things. Waiting until the shields come down. The Tonnerre, that's it. It's Tonnerre. Remember Tonnerre, because Tonnerre's ability is French for storm. Or thunder? Something like that. Okay. Again, the Niagara not being as aggressive as it was the first time.
No.
Although the Vical drone is taking damage, you see it's a low hull, considering how it's complaining in the combat chatter.
So another thing we're seeing in the upcoming patch is ships kind of adjusting the way they think about their burn drive. They apparently will have a lot more logic in there to how they use the ability, which is good to see, because we definitely see some interesting things in the tournament thus far with the burn drive getting ships in trouble.
Oh yeah, that Vical gets got shielded with bypass. I can't really do anything.
Just one shot from anything.
Yeah.
Just sneeze at it.
Down. It lost all its frontal armor. People said, why would you give it shield bypass? It's just because it is, because the Bicol Barone has like detachable armor modules, but because it essentially hugged an explosion back in wave 1, it lost all its protection.
We would have seen it last much longer, if not for that like very unfortunate accident. Yeah. Some really shoddy piloting.
Yeah, but now
There goes the Niagara.
just taking damage. Not doing what it's supposed to be doing. You've not seen the Niagara do its job since the very first round.
Sad to see.
Yep. Filter down, bring P down. That Infernus is just... Who's going to die to that explosion, though? This is going to be a big explosion.
Nobody.
Well, the Wanderer overloaded at least. Well, the Cobra Mark III is down, High Tide is down. They're focusing on the Dragon now. The Dragon's down. Michael's corpse is still there. I think the corpses get removed on the wave reset.
Yeah,
So
they all explode like that.
goodbye, Michael. Goodbye, Michael. And now has the Panther fleets.
One Michael left. Panther fleet. The AME fleet is still mostly intact. We've lost a decent number of the destroyers, I believe, for the...
Yeah. If you lost the DME frigates are pretty much all gone. There's one
Cobra's still in there, and that's a frigate, but yeah.
This Michael is not the armored Michael, therefore still has a shield. Whereas the armored Michael didn't have a shield, and that just killed it.
Right.
Tonera's Voltenbrunn ships. Okay.
Some Sabres coming out.
Yeah. Tonera, I think the Tonera has missile autoport, if I'm right.
Very neat ability in theory, but
Well, it needs to, if it's a missile cruiser, it needs some way of having a lot of missiles.
definitely works to its favor. The waves also are made such that they get 50% of their missiles back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, they get every wave you restore 100% of your CR and 50% of your max missiles.
Right, but you do not get your peak time back, so you will just immediately start losing it if you're below peak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, an interesting phase here in the fight.
Yep. I think there's a lot of LP ships at the bottom just ganging up on individual destroyers.
Pushing in on that really weak flank, and the opposite happening over here, except the LP are definitely doing better at just dancing away.
That Castell is being ironed to bits, though. That Castell's not going to last for very long if it just decides to stay there.
It doesn't have too much armor, yeah.
Taking a lot of damage from the front. That Conquest is still there. Again, it's an outbalanced Conquest, which is favoring the DMU weapon side, as well it should.
The Dominator.
Yeah, Onslaught's coming in there to say hi.
Onslaught carving a bloody swath through these destroyers, especially.
That is a very brave Hammerhead, I'll be honest with you. That Hammerhead is like, you know what, I'm just going to stay there and just like take several flamers and the TPCs
Yeah, if he gets out of there, give that man a medal. And he just might.
Yeah. He's out. Roller LP down. I think that's going to be a Forcer LP down. Actually, this wave is gone. God.
It's not going as bad as I thought. There's the Dominator.
We just lost a Wanderer over there. Yeah, the Dominator is... Yeah, you see the kinetic... the kinetic Mervs, the Chasseur.
Yeah.
Again, it's a really good missile from the DME. It's a kinetic Merv, which works really well. And that is a severely ironed out Dominator. It takes a while to die because it's Dominator, but still.
It's been dead for a while, just didn't know it yet. Ooh.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Some capital and capital action, but it's going for the, I believe, Tunguska?
Yeah, the Tunguska, which is getting some damage in there. So it just can. And the Shudders will be next. Red Hazard. Conquest Redemption Arc. Oh, looks like the Tunguska is down. So
yeah, let's see it.
There we go. Mano a mano at Conquest versus Onslaught.
There are no small ships to distract them.
Nope, they literally have no other targets to worry about now.
Each other.
And this usually will only go one way. Oh.
Ions coming in.
Oh, yep. We have
back up.
A saving ion fleet. Give it time to vent. Turns to the other side, which has more armor and has a Hellbore and a Mark 9. And the ships are coming in. Vitals are coming in. Chasseurs firing out.
that ion arcing, slowing down the onslaught a little. But now the Conquest is going to defeat its own support by swinging in front of it. So the Bicol's there, Strikecraft coming in.
Yep, Strikecraft coming in.
And the
Again,
Conquest.
now that the DME weapons have fixed themselves, swing back to the DME side, fire the linear cannons and the Hellspear.
It is definitely seeming to prefer them, huh?
But I think they're definitely longer range weapons.
Yeah.
They're definitely longer range weapons.
And as it backs off like that, and it will tend to try to keep range.
Yep, and it'll just ping it from ages. It looks like at least 1,500 range to get my Hellspear.
Smart Conquest, share your secrets. Yeah, how do you get that thing to perform like that? And they deal with the onslaught, and the fleet is largely intact.
I won't say it's perfect, but it's
depleted, but yeah. But can they deal with Wave 4? It's the one to beat right now,
which has a lot of fighters as well. There's a lot of the mod pirate ships are also carriers.
This is a wave with a lot of reach, for sure. Hard to get away from this one. A lot of missiles, a lot of strikecraft.
I will remember after this round to get sound effects down.
Yes.
A little bit.
In general, a theme I'm seeing with the AI, especially the larger ships, that's kind of disrupting them, is they tend to just go for the smaller targets, and they'll just ignore like the big target in their face. And it's interesting behavior. We've seen it tons with the Victory. It's just shooting at like frigates and cruisers and even fighters coming in, rather than the big capital in its face. It goes both ways.
I think they're trying to. Yeah, ooh, that Conquest just took about 40% of its hull.
And it's going to keep taking it. It brings its shield around, but there's a lot of missiles coming from multiple angles. It backs off. Rightly so.
Back off and take a breather because it's quite high in hard plus at the moment. It needs to go away. It needs to have time to vent. Or at least to take its shields down so it can vent.
It's struggling to find that time.
So many missiles coming on one side of the computer gets crazy. There you go, there it goes. A couple of Conquests, a couple of Locusts, and the Chester's. But it's coming, it's moving forward.
Moves forward again. No, not with that much hard flux. It's risking an overload.
Nope, dead.
Doesn't even overload.
The explosion kills the camel, but I don't think it's an effective trade.
No, not at all. And now we just have the DME cruisers and a bunch of supporting destroyers.
Yep. You have, what is it, the Cormoran, the Chimera, and the Vicol, which by themselves can do a lot of damage still.
Certainly.
A lot of damage still.
Always impressed when I see the ship.
But the problem we're going to have, even if they succeed, the problem we're going to have is it's going to be a CR issue. Even if they get, should they get through this wave,
Yeah.
They're going to be losing CR early next wave.
Yeah, I do think that the timer has been set for sure. You make a good point.
Everything's losing CR. Everything is going down in CR. 70s in the DME ships, it looks like.
And
in the
they're
non-DME ships.
slowing down on pushing through this ship. The Castella and the big mining hull, the rig there, is still alive, and that's a lot of HP to get through. And so too the Shadow Yard ships.
It's a phase ship as well, so it can just play. You can see, you can tell they're intimidated because they're not pushing forwards.
Yeah, and they've just kind of gotten stuck in this little pocket, and they're getting wrapped around on.
Saltbutton's gonna get a surprise for you soon. Saltbutton just said Shane Brackhawk isn't updated for 0.9 yet. So enjoy watching Saltbutton. You'll be surprised. Oh no, Dayton spoiled it. Come on, Dayton. Don't spoil the secret. Imagine the look on his face. So I don't recognize that phase. Oof, just missed it. No wonder there. That phase SRA ship.
Me neither.
It's a shame the Tornado just pummeled by loads of missiles at once. The Bicol's taking damage as well. Just focus on the side, can't really turn around.
Still standing strong, but yeah, probably.
Oh! Nice hammer barrage coming in there. Several swift.
Here comes a swift burst.
Oh! That's 75%, 80% of its health in a single barrage.
Wombo combo, we keep seeing the hammer barrages and swift burst in whatever order. Seems to get a lot of ships from this wave.
Turns out that a lot of damage just does damage no matter what you've got. Like,
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
only does half damage to shields. Don't care. If they do double the damage, it's still a amount
it
of
dies
damage.
to just a few interceptors, I think.
Yeah. But at that point, I had no hull left, no
Yeah,
armor left. So
no
even-
armor. I think we're gonna see this clean up though.
Yeah. Cormoran's still there because the Cormoran's a great ship, but it can't do anything by itself.
Not alone, not against this much. So
Not if
many
it's
strike
piloted by
craft
AI.
running on that
If it's piloted
Castell.
by a human, the Cormoran can do a lot of good work, but not against the AI. Not against AI. Not when piloted by AI. Look at that. Yeah, look at all those swifts just come in straight from that Castella. And all the hammerheads there. Yep, again, it's a wombo combo.
Yep.
Swift and hammers in whatever
Very
order they
potent.
are.
It's just too much damage, high explosive or not, against shields.
Yep.
And the Swifts, an interesting thing about them is the way they work. They tend to wrap around ships with more narrow shields pretty easily, and they'll just get some damage in there regardless.
And is that pretty much it? That was Wanderer. What's left? Oh, that's it. That was it.
Nothing.
Again, wave 4 seems to be is the gatekeeper at the moment. Nothing's gone past it. Everything's reached wave 3. And it's the situation that wave 3 is beatable, but it just takes so many resources to do.
Right.
Let's see if that works out. Yep. Good. At least you remembered, because I didn't.
We can.
You make me quieter
Apologies?
again. No.
Not too
My
quiet.
voice.
All right.
Hooray. Let's go back into there. And next it will be Starasp's
And
high tech and
comes.
comes.
The moment he's been
SRA.
waiting for, I'm sure. Oh shit, it's my fleet now, he says. Oh no, that's not what we want to hear. Come on, what do you mean not you? It's your moment. All right, what we've
We
got?
want to see what's happening here. We want to see. We want to see
Ooh, that's right, this fleet.
the EOS. Yep, the EOS fleets and the Zenith. The Zenith did sterling work last time. The suicidal strikes, though, that's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. A Kronos now, an added Kronos with some SRA weapons on it as well.
Yeah,
And
very neat.
several fighters.
And a lot
Demoiselles.
of the DME fighters. The Demoiselles are definitely heavy hitters. You get a lot of value
Yes.
out of them.
Which again, they've been kept around since last week because both of these fleets were paired with DMEs last week, so they've kept the DME fighters.
Yeah,
equipped
why
ships.
not? They're good ships.
Why not? They are really good.
And also some daggers, which we don't see as much as the Perditions. Still good, for sure.
Oh, the daggers took a massive nerf because now they use Archipos rather than Reapers.
Right.
They used to be Reaper bombers, and then they would be the best bombers. Because 3 Reapers? Are you kidding me?
Right. But
They're not
now
as
just-
useful now, but Perditions I think have taken the best bomber slot.
yeah, I think over Perditions they have some tracking, which can be good. But in general, yeah, I think people tend to favor the Perditions, and rightly so. But here we could see something interesting come out of the tracking at least. What else have we got? Charybdis comes back, of course.
2 Charybdis, looks like 2 Tartarus, looks like 4 Morning Stars, and 3 of those things I don't recognize. The 3rd ship along?
The 3rd. Oh, the
Lobatus, the heavy destroyers.
heavy procrastination destroyer. All right, comes.
With several, again, those have DME weapons on them. They've kept them from last week as well. So it's an interesting mix of essentially 3 factions here. We have basically high-tech and SRA ships, but several DME weapons sort of waved in between.
Right. Definitely an interesting nuance of the tournament meta there. Keeping those weapons after you've passed through them with a certain... that's very neat. But yeah, let's get into it.
Come on, Renegade. Now is your time, Renegade. Do something.
Interestingly, not a single capital ship on the player side, I believe, right?
Yep, just cruisers.
All
but
cruisers.
No, sorry, the Kronos. The Kronos is a capital ship.
Oh, is it?
The Kronos is a capital ship. It is a battle. It is not a battleship. It's more of a battle cruiser, I guess. But it's still classified as a capital. It's like the Conquest rather than an Onslaught.
Gotcha. I'm not familiar.
Quick summon joke ban comes.
Comes commit Sudoku. What have we got? The Renegade just jumping in there, but this fleet a little bit more tentative, not as willing to just jump on top of it like last time, but I think we'll see the same story more or less, yeah?
Yeah, it's got strikes. The strikes will definitely jump in. That's the whole job, right?
Right.
We got one move. It's the plasma jets. We're just gonna get in there and attack as much as possible. Thunder down, Eagle down.
Battle more broken up than we're used to seeing, I think, in Wave 1.
That Morning Star is called Onward Me China, and I love it. Okay. Kronos is coming in. The Kronos, of course, is going to jump. I did just sit in the face of that. What have they got with? Looking like it has CPCs.
Yep.
Is that a Storm Blaster on it as well? An Auto Pulse Laser?
Auto Pulse Laser, yeah.
The Kronos is a solid ship. It's not, I don't use it very often, but it's a very solid ship.
Interesting aesthetic for sure. But oof, yeah.
The Kronos is also kind of Salamander proof, because Salamanders tend to go for the rear of the ship, and that's not where the engines of the Kronos really are.
Good point.
Strike and an Archon down already, that is true. So, losing ships on round 1. Look at my cruiser, even made them aggressive. It's like, are you sure there comes? Amalgam down. I have seen very aggressive Charybdis in the past. I'm just not even sure. Sometimes they just don't do that. I'm not sure why.
Are they, they're carriers, correct?
They're battle carriers. They're very well equipped. They can fight properly very easily.
I think in general the carriers tend to just like give out some odd behavior depending.
I think again it depends on what weapons you've got on them.
Right.
If you put very long range weapons on them, they'll quite happily stay back, attack in long range. And for them, if they have a weapon, I believe, I don't know this for true, so maybe chat can correct me. I think if they have a weapon like the heavy beam, the Kaz beams, that take a long time to fire. It keeps trying to start firing, but the second something moves in front of it, it stops firing. So
right.
it has to restart firing, and it never really happens.
You see similar behavior come out of the Herons, where they'll like be very suddenly aggressive, but then tend to be kind of tentative. But yeah, we're moving on to Wave 2. Fleet mostly still intact, lost a lot of Lashers and I believe Sunders.
Buffalo Mark 2 was the last ship because Buffalo Mark 2 is the best ship. If you went around one of the previous tournaments, one that couldn't unfortunately be around with the cast was essentially players just built a fleet and tried to face off against infinite Buffalo Mark 2s.
That sounds like a blast.
Which apparently went down very well. I wasn't around for it. I was traveling at the time. I couldn't see it. I couldn't cast it, but I heard it was amazing. Yep, Kronos is very good. That Kronos is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's getting in there,
right,
and just basically shooting things. It's got a really good shield because it's a high-tech ship, and it can just stay there and just tank. It's forcing back the ship a lot. It's forcing back their fleet considerably. That Archon decided to face away from the Niagara at the wrong time. Ooh, that is an overloaded Charybdis there. I can't remember. I don't know which Charybdis is the capital, but that Charybdis is at about 40% health. It really could do with not dying right now.
Yeah, now would be a bad time to die. Strike goes down. Very aggressive.
Yeah, strike goes down, but it's like, it's a strike though. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I believe the one is low health. I think that is the actual the flagship Charybdis.
Shrike flamed itself out with a dash, of course it did.
Oh yeah, it's a Shrike.
We've seen the line established here.
Shrike flames off with a dash. Another news: sky is blue, water is wet, grass is green. I do like Cronus. Cronus is acting like I want it to. Just getting in there. It hasn't taken much damage, if any at all. It's just tanking and just firing weapons with the weapons it can.
Absolutely the star of the show.
Especially because the side turrets actually have quite a nice range in it, so even behind it, even around it, you can still attack to its sides relatively easily. Although it is maybe a little bit. Okay, maybe I've spoken to it. It's bitten off a little bit more than it can chew here. It needs to back off.
One of its engines flamed out.
Ah, it took a side hit from something.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that Hellfire Cannon is... The Infernus is like, yay, I've got a target now.
And its flux is high, so it can't keep up with defense for long. It needs to get out of there.
It'll have... Once it gets its ship system back, it'll help out a lot, but... It needs to be able to have enough time.
Interesting Niagara placement there.
It's trying to face something. It's trying to face a single Morningstar above it, I think. A single Morningstar is distracting it.
Ooh.
Okay, I didn't say it was immune to the salamanders. I said it was mostly immune to the salamanders. I said it was. I don't think it was a salamander that took out the engines.
And also, I don't think it took a salamander hit. It was just strafed by something smaller and took out the engine.
I think it was a hammer hit.
And the Niagara separated from the rest of its fleet, at least what remains of it. I kind of want to see what happens to it, but it seems like the fleet is being kind of slow about picking at it, so we'll see which part of the battle kicks off first. The ship's jockey for position. Ooh. So low.
As long as something just doesn't decide to hug it when it explodes, it should be fine.
Right.
Because last time that's what happened. The Bikel just hugged the
Furnace.
The furnaces. It was a Mongol. It was a. Hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lost this
call
one
just
for a
quickly.
second.
Yeah. The whole. Yeah. I'll watch on the stream until we get to the end of the round.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah. The Niagara is going to be really passive. For some reason. It just is. I'm not entirely sure why, but it just staying back. I've not seen the proper like Niagara do much until since the first round.
Yeah, I keep looking at it, wondering if something's happening, but just not much has changed. Putting up some strike craft there. I don't think anything's there to below. Yeah, it's just the Niagara. That strike barely lived there. Another strike. A little too aggressive, but this one managed to survive. Its fellow ships bailed it out. Ooh, Hatcherforce coming in. We're gonna see it hit peak flux. Have to drop its shield.
I am singing to the past. You're predicting the future for me because of. So I can hear you in real time, but I can see the stream with lag. So you're predicting the future, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Just a hiccup like that and picked right up.
Yeah. Again, the Niagara's just staying there.
It's just being. It just is, but it not do.
Well, to be fair, if nothing else is alive, it'll just speed through the end of the round. Or the end of the wave, at least. Look at those bombs coming in. Those hedgehogs, but I don't think they're going to do anything. Oh, they might hit. Looks like they hit.
Yeah, I think we speed through this a little bit, at least towards the end of the Niagara. Ooh. Wait, so hesitant to jump in on top of it. Here we go. They're gonna dance away again, I think, though. Not just finish it off. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Very quickly, let's get you your back.
Yay. I can see in real time again.
Production value.
Professionalism.
We're seeing the Luddic Path SO fleet again.
Kronos going in ham as well, but again, it can, so far at least.
It does have license to, yes.
It is in fact a qualified butcher. It can in fact handle raw pork.
Combs is getting a lot of flack in the chat now. Uninvited to a birthday party. Oh no, Combs. Your fleet needs to improve. It needs to perform.
Wow.
But yeah, all things said, it's doing quite well, I think, in my humble opinion. Cryptices are still going strong. A lot of the cruisers are still up. They're the bulk of the fleet right now, I think. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a huge loss. That is a huge loss.
The star of the show goes down.
Yep. That is a big hit. That is unfortunate.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, it was doing such good work.
It really was. I think it was putting the fleet on its back a little bit, at least a portion of it. So
the Castella's charging in now, something it hasn't done for a couple of rounds, so it might start deleting things if it eventually gets some good hits on. And on Mark II goes down. Took a lot of hits. Again.
Did we lose it again?
Yeah, we lost it again.
Huh. I think it's a bandwidth funnel. Throttle, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll refrain from live commentary and I'll just comment on general things how it's going. So you gotta take it live commentary.
Gotcha. When the onslaught comes forward, and usually when the onslaught is coming forward, things die.
One or the other. Something will die.
How's that for your live commentary?
Yeah. That is a very, again, it is SO forces to have short range weaponry, and just because of that, he's got several flamers, which means if he gets close range,
It's a good choice.
Flamers don't care about penalizing long range because the flamers aren't long range in any way, shape, or form. I don't think missiles care about long range either, to be honest. So that's also good.
You think that they'll be able to get through the SO wave, the Luddic Path fleet here, or do you think they'll fall here?
I don't know. Like, that Kronos loss is a big hit.
It's really hard to call here.
Yep. There's a lot of unattended ships at the top of the screen there. I think you might have a situation where there's actually a lot of ships just outnumbering the player fleet, which actually hasn't happened yet.
I know thus far the fleets have been very wide.
But there were a lot of losses early on.
Yeah.
And I think they probably will kill the onslaught, but it's not going to be without loss to themselves, and they're being very defensive at the moment.
Yeah, I would, especially with the onslaught, just like tanking so much and just draining the fleet. CR is getting low. I would guess that they're not going to make it through this wave. It'll be really close if they do.
Oh, poor comes. Yeah, it's carrier AI, and it's a weird situation to be in. Like it happens. It's happened a lot in several tournaments. The carriers just don't manage to come in, and I don't know why. Sometimes they just do something. Oh.
Big hammer barrage.
It's lovely to see, though. I like just looking at the hammer barrage. You always something will happen when that thing fires. the Tartarus is kind of interesting because it managed to stay. If it's angled perfectly right, it can just be between both the TPCs of the Onslaught. It just fires either side of it. That goes to Zenith as well.
Goes down. Unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I think you were right. This is not going to be able to work it out.
The Castella up here, I don't know what's distracting him. Just a lone destroyer, which is good for the fleet for sure, but this looks like it's idling. Doesn't care about the bulk of the fleet here, and it doesn't really need to. The Onslaught has got this.
Yeah, it's like you do that. I'm just going to stay here and just smoke them.
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah.
Onslaught's taking some good damage too, so they were getting towards it, but just drained of resources at this point. Not enough gas.
Yeah, and especially now because even if they do manage to take out the Onslaught, they're not going to have CR take out everything else. Because the EOS is on 21, or everything's on low CR right now. I'll not give numbers because that shows how delayed I am. But yeah.
Yeah.
Low CR, and I don't
15%, 15%. This one's going to be a little bit higher probably. 19, I believe. 18, yeah. Very low. If we're not going to die to just like overwhelming firepower, the CR will kill us very shortly here.
So one of the problems with high tech is that a lot of their tanking is shield based. So once their shield goes down to CR, they have a lesser chance of killing. I'm not saying that low tech is great at 0 CR either. But at least when low tech is at 0 CR, they still have the armor behind it.
You get the Castella. But yeah. It is a neat point about the way that the different tiers interact with the CR system.
Oh, if this works, this is going to be so...
Do you think that they can get the... Oh, it'll be a nice
know.
point. They could do it.
Yeah, but this is like Comes says, this is going to be Comes winning a 0 CR wave. Winning while on 0 CR.
We're all below 10% except for this destroyer somehow.
The Onslaught itself will be out of CR soon as well. Because it was a Lytic Path Onslaught.
Safety overridden.
Safety overrides.
Already at 31%. Might not even have enough CR to get up to the depleted CR ships. They're at like 1%. They're about to hit 0. Gonna get shields gone. Massive malfunctions. I wonder how this is gonna wrap. This destroyer hiding it away, burning the last of its CR.
It's just like, you know what? If everyone's at 0 CR, we've got a chance.
Right. Lead through this. See how it picks up. Tartarus flying, crawling forward into the range of the Onslaught. A decent surround on it, but it has plenty of weapons to deal with this. Oh, comes. They did it.
This is so tense. Yeah, 0 CR. No, from what I can see, some ships had some CR, but it was.
Oh no!
Well, you might win. Good luck.
It's the Onslaught.
Yeah, but you never know.
But
Comes as re-invited to my birthday party.
just barely. I think that's the closest win that we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely, definitely. Just what, with 5 ships remaining, all of them at pretty much like below 15% CR.
But as the fresh mod ships come in, they're going to clean this up pretty fast because the player fleets are depleted. Unfortunate. There goes the carrier. EOS goes down. Tartarus is in trouble. Charybdis is outmatched.
Yeah, that Thresher just spent a lot of time in the Charybdis' face. Tartarus can last a lot longer because of the siege wave stuff, but again, it'll die eventually.
Right, it has like a variant of Fortress Shields essentially, correct?
Yeah, siege mode it lowers its speed, but improves turning angle and range and so forth.
And I believe... Oh, that's right, the Lone Destroyer.
That Morningstar was very lucky. It missed it managed to dodge like a 7 hammer barrage. at some point. It's like, yeah, pretty good, well done. But
Death
oh well.
by 1,000 cuts once more.
The fighter wave, we all like, oh, this is all mod pirates. It's like, oh yeah, it is mod pirates, but it's also the first pirate wave to make really good use of fighters.
And it definitely is a dramatic shift that the Wombo combo would keep talking about, right?
Because that Wombo combo explicitly comes from fighters. It comes from the Swift fighters, I don't know what they're called, and it comes from the Perditions.
Right.
Onward Machina was the last ship as well. I'm extra proud about that. Onward Machina! I'm extra happy about that.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Although it does mean that literally, so far, everyone's earned 3 points.
Consistently, yeah. Wave 4 is the one to beat. Do you think we're gonna see it? I think this might be?
This might do it. I think this is DME embracing fighters and also 2 maelstroms. And those daisies, which were amazing. Those SO daisies last week were fantastic.
It was the single confused, right? And then 2 artillery.
I believe.
Is the fit, which, yeah, was very potent. And we have the flagship here, the Punished battlecruiser. And we have a Thunderstruck battlecruiser now added. I believe it's more or less this.
And I believe having none of your wide bullshit.
Let us know.
Absolutely. Like we had 1 battleship and 3 cruises before. Now you have 1 extra battleship. Screw it.
Right. Yeah.
Making use of DME weapons as well.
Bobby asks, what's going on? Yeah, guys, what's going on? What are we doing here?
So what up?
The big Starsector fleet building tournament. Was there a Normandy before? I thought this was the fleet without it. No, that was the other one. But yeah, I think
they're capitals, like whole capitals of battleship. It's all the same to me.
They all look the same.
They're all boats to me.
Yeah, Paladin and the cart.
I think the Normandy is the flagship. Yeah, I would guess so. But it's not in the first position, which is weird.
Yeah, that's what threw me off.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, and it's actually got quite a big change because DA has definitely not gone tall.
Bold strategy, at least among what the standard is.
And the DME is definitely far less wide than everything else we've seen so far because we've gone quadruple carriers.
Yeah. We'll see a lot of missiles, a lot of strike craft.
Because I believe those are 3 Tonnerres. Those are 3 of the missile cruisers. Oh, the Renegade decided to go for the DME this time, so we'll see how that works out for it.
I'm really curious to see.
It's a bold move, Koff, and see how it pays out.
These maelstroms shake out.
Jesus.
The DME just kind of back off while the Dial will come into the other flank.
Well, that is the drunken, confused days. It's just over there going, you know what? Screw it. Just run.
Right?
Yep.
Safety overrided, ready to go. We're seeing the Renegade just let it turn around and come back to the fleet.
Ooh. Big tweet losing ships. Yeah. I think this is supposed to be an issue where both fleets didn't go wide, so there might be a problem we saw last week.
Right.
This is going to be an interesting test because this is the first of the round. This is round E. It's the first round that everyone else has gone double wide. Both people have gone wide.
Oh no, the confuse goes down.
That is a harsh. Again, it's the lack of wideness. It
right,
really is.
Not enough cover, and also just with an SO ship, yeah, it needs that cover in addition to being so aggressive. Something else for the enemy ships to latch onto, or else it just gets singled out and gunned down. Yeah, and as you were saying, yeah, this is probably the narrowest fleet that we've seen, right? Or a combination of fleets. It's showing here for sure.
It's a huge shame. A huge shame.
It was too confused.
Too confused. No.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think led to that? Because last time we saw that, days do so much work. Was it? Do you think it was like a consequence of a very different pairing, and so the pairing kind of compensated for that deficiency in like support ships and like surface area?
What's last week? Last week was the cart and Lightning JC's vanilla. I think Lightning went a lot wider, I think. Whereas I think both fleets here, like the DME is definitely wider than the DA, but it's still not what I would consider wide.
Yeah.
So they definitely got punished by Wave 1. I mean, they've lost essentially what was the star of last week, immediately got taken down.
Yeah, the star of last week, gone. Days was doing so much work, and I was excited to see it do work again. The other days there's no slouches, and we still have maelstroms, but yeah, it does definitely puts them on the back foot.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept that was very true. Is that this is the first like combined fleet that is actually outnumbered immediately.
Right.
By the pirates, because every other one that went wide outnumbered the pirates early on, and as they started losing, the pirates outnumbered them. But this, as of Wave 1, immediately outnumbered.
At worst, they would trim off some frigates and then tie it up. But yeah, here, just definitely getting a concave on them, outnumbered, and frequently any of the ships that venture forward just get outgunned very quickly by the more dense enemy fleet.
Conant says it's because Gal doesn't have any frontline ships to support card. It's all fighters and missiles, which is not a bad thing, mind you, but they start on opposite sides. Well, yes, but they did that last week as well. So you knew what was coming, fortunately. It's true. I would argue that, again, if both fleets started at the bottom, this would be a lot easier, but that was true last week, and I don't think that will be changing.
But I think it's a good point, because the way that this fleets like tend to cooperate, the Haze, if they had like come in both like on the bottom or something together, or as one unified fleet, then the cover would have kind of mixed a little bit and maybe cover the days, but because the days came at the angle that it did, it didn't get that support. Instead, all the ships that could have supported it just kind of wrapped around the top. But I think it would have been fine if it had those phase ships backing it up, and they were available. But yeah, that's just kind of how the AI shakes out.
I believe that second Maelstrom has 3 SRAB launchers, I think, on it. Or 4? Maybe it looks like 3.
I think this is the second one.
Is it?
I think so.
Can't remember. No, definitely, because the second one must be the one with the DME weapon.
That makes sense.
Because the cart would not have been able to have a DME weapon last week.
I think he can fit his flagship with... Oh, wait. Regardless.
Oh yeah, I'm confused now.
Yeah.
The most are doing fine, and they're definitely doing way better in this wave than they did last wave.
A lot of work, for sure. A lot of smaller ships that just kind of die very quickly to the missiles, and now they're just, they've got a lot of the smaller, more maneuverable ships down, and they're just able to kite the Infernus and Niagara pretty comfortably.
HIL, HVD, Maelstrom is insane. It is very good. So you want a lot of kinetic damage, take the shields down.
The mines don't stop.
Don't stop believing.
And once more, we have the somewhat ineffective Niagara left alone.
That Niagara has not done the job since round 1.
And we were really impressed with it round 1, if I recall correctly.
Round 1, it tore apart Thagos, and it just got in there and just like, so you know what? I'm extremely dangerous. And ran in there and like, got all these guns, and if I face something, something dies. But now it can't do that because it's so outnumbered that it can't afford to take the hits and focus on targets.
That lazy Niagara indeed, and fun pay for its laziness. Oof.
I think that might be the first time I've actually seen the hedgehogs actually do work, because usually they're so slow that everything just dodges them.
Here we go again. The next wave. Yeah, it's just always struck by how much wider the Pirates line is compared to this fleet. You said it for sure. A lot of paths just kind of surge forward.
Like especially like it's very apparent in the Luddic Path leagues. The Luddic Path is definitely the smallest pirate fleet you've seen out of the waves.
And even
they're just matched to number wise. Those Maelstrom need to move forward. Okay, they are too far back. They are the front line.
Yeah.
So they need to get up there and start acting like it.
Get their shields applied to the situation. Get those beams in. This one is out of the
Look
arc.
at that kill feed though.
Yeah. All
Pure
the
orange.
little LP ships. Definitely
I love the fact that there's a dram there. It just warms my heart. Well, which makes total sense if you've ever played against the Pathers. Like Pathers are insane. They will send converted drams to the front lines.
Yeah. Absolutely. In character. Every single mod Luddic Path ship brought to bear here. As
And
well.
this is a very strong showing by this fleet. Like, they had a disastrous round one, but this has actually been really strong. This wiped out pretty much everything in the Pather fleet that's destroyer or smaller. A couple of destroyers still hanging around.
They definitely hit the rhythm.
Yeah. Turns out the confused days was just in the way. Distribution down.
I love seeing the Maelstroms just jump forward onto something. A little awkward, but it works. It looks so good.
They're really good. Like, they are really well equipped. And they've definitely, we've had 500 seconds, 550 seconds since with my delay, which means they've definitely hit the peak of their accuracy bonuses, which means even their point defense weapons are now decent range weapons.
That's true, something we talked about last stream, but failed to re-mention this one. The Diabol have an interesting mod system that increases their maneuverability and accuracy as the battle goes on.
And that doesn't get reset either, so that's...
No.
Whereas, like, a lot of the time, things that don't get reset are usually detrimental to the fleet. Like PPT not getting reset is detrimental.
Right.
This not getting reset is definitely beneficial to the Diabol because they want that thing, advanced avionics, to be on for as much as possible.
Right, so as they get into, if not Wave 2, then certainly Wave 3. They'll be at their peak. Not in CR, that still degrades, of course, but they'll have significant bonuses to their performance, which definitely factors in here.
So I aesthetically I love missile spam as well. So,
Yeah,
which is why
it's so cool.
And all the missiles coming out of the tonnerres, the little micro missiles from the maelstroms,
And I
from the
think
backs of the daisies.
That was the
everything-
handiest dealing of the onslaught that we've seen. Just dispatch, right?
That was a really good wave 3.
Convincing
from
showing
players.
here. Do you think we'll finally see a Wave 4 overcome?
This is definitely the best shot we've had at a wave 4 because
so.
I don't think they took very little, if any, damage from wave 3 at all. And they've been very good at just killing off small ones. They have the DNE fighters flying around to deal with enemy fighters. A lot of small missiles as well, which are pretty good at dealing with enemy fighters.
This
Well
ship-
played.
This fleet definitely has the strongest backbone we've seen, right? They lost a lot of the chaff in the beginning. We have the unfortunate loss of the Confused Days and some other frigates and stuff. But yeah, just this core is standing so strong.
The mines, the never-ending mines as well. Again, look at the kill fleet. It's just every once in a while,
Yeah.
every few seconds, a pirate ship just dies.
The opening of every wave is just, yeah, tons of the little gunships and frigates just dying off, just getting drowned in missiles.
The little purple sphere things are a Diabol point defense system. That basically they drop like mini black holes.
Eats a Reaper on the Maelstrom, unfortunate, but still standing strong.
Well, one Reaper at wave 4, I think we can excuse that, let's be honest.
For sure. Definitely not a round ruiner, but
No.
is the first scratch we're seeing on the Maelstrom, the first like really
Pretty
big
much.
hit. So yeah,
On either of them, I think. So
have that happen as late as Wave 4, as you're saying, is certainly what we want to see.
so it helps they haven't been hugging exploding ships as well. That
Yes.
definitely is true.
I wonder what commanders they had fitted on their ships in order to get this kind of behavior.
Is Cart in chat? Can he explain what we've got in the?
It also just isn't a conquest, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
isn't
as
cruisers.
Griffin mentions, that is the first time that capital has died. That
That's
mining
true.
ship has not yet died today, so that was the first kill on that mining ship. That Castella hasn't died either, so it'll be the first kill on that. Should it die as well?
I think one of them has died. I believe I've seen, but yeah, first to memory. I might be misremembering, but yeah. And I think we are gonna see it, yeah?
This is looking like a wave 5, and
Looking really
someone mentioned
good.
potential wave 6. Like I have no idea what's in wave 5, so I can't even begin to say what's in wave 6.
The curve is harsh. These fleets are struggling to climb up that curve, so we'll see if it continues to be as sheer a cliff as it's looking like with wave 5. But yeah, as we're talking about it, I mean, it seems so likely, which is good. Definitely want to see some more. Would hate to see Tardy's efforts go to waste with 2 waves. Wave 6 is the one that's like, you get to it, but
The cart in chats. You guys keep telling me going tall isn't gonna work. Fuck you, it works. Well, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that.
He's
It's
proven
working
his
very
point.
well. It is working very, very well. You can't argue with the evidence.
certainly can't.
Turns out going tall was the answer all along.
Although this might be an example of something we going to be a little leery of going forward, is this really strong, dense fleet getting split up like this. I think it's fine here. The enemy fleet's depleted enough. But situations like this are definitely what this fleet wants to avoid. They want to be really densely packed. They want to be just like focusing down single targets or a handful of them. From sees an opportunity, jumps on it.
Yep.
An artillery daze shooting into its rear. It's flamed out, tumbling, and it's gone. Ooh, simultaneously. I believe there's a ship over here. No, already dead.
Tumbleweed, both the capitals are down. If there's anything left, it's not big.
There's some strike craft getting cleaned up by missiles. No, there was something down here. Yeah, I was correct. And it is just a little, it's a pirate variant of the conserves or something like that.
Concerts or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, I regret everything right now. Right, our first wave 5.
Interesting.
Oh,
The Cabal.
snap. The Cabal comes out to play with a Cabal Astral as well. 4 Cabal
Quadruple Auroras, Astrals, Medusas, and a single
is-
Astral, I'm sorry. Interesting. Phase ships as well. The Harbingers, I believe.
Yes, the Harbingers, or Cabal Harbingers especially.
And even an Afflictor or 2, a Wolf. An interesting fleet.
I can see it look like I can see Hyperion over there in the background as well, I think.
What is... Oh, another Aurora going down already. And we also lost one of the phase ships, I believe, from the DME fleet. What is...
We've
There's
lost
a
several
lot-
of that so far. It's not the first one we've lost.
There were 4, I think, total. What is going on here?
I don't know. I have not got a clue what that
I haven't
is.
seen that before.
No.
Tardy, what are you up to? It's a disco party, disco ball. I believe it's a disco laser ball.
It's a disco ball that it's a disco ball that fires tachyon lances.
Yeah.
That is scary.
I
that is
don't want to
it's
go to that
6
disco party.
It's 6 tachyon lances. That is. It looks like they have a shorter range than a regular tachyon lance, but still
So,
very snary.
yeah, okay, so it's a phase lead. Still scary.
Ship weapons packs. Yeah, ship weapons pack.
Oh, I see. I have yet to encounter that. Interesting. I get every time I spawn in a campaign the Cabal with like a really sizable fleet coming hunt me down, and I have to like outmaneuver them or cheese them somehow.
I still have yet to do a campaign where I play nice with the Cabal and try to get on their side.
It's not easy.
No.
We see the player fleet being hemmed in from every side. Very maneuverable Cabal fleet, but they're dealing with it well. They're knocking down targets at a pretty consistent pace. The Astral still needs to be dealt with. It's hardly taking a scratch.
Yeah, but we're down to what, 2 Auroras at this point?
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to see wave 6 as well, but still have to, let's see what the Astral is able to drag down with it. Interesting strike craft there. I think it only has 1 type there. Are those ion beams or what? Just tactical?
They're Starlight Wasps, I think? They look like the Wasp drones, but in Cabal colors. I'm not sure if they have any difference.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I see that now.
They're
Definitely dealing with
killer
them.
bees. They are killer bees. They are wasps with phase lances.
Interesting.
They are deadly.
And they have a point defense ability as well, I take it.
Heavy burst lasers. Sorry, not phase lances.
Look at them just clean up
And
the
then
Maelstrom missile spam.
I swear they've changed it because I swear they used to be phase lances when I fought it. They used to have phase lances in 0.8. There you go. Now they're heavy burst lasers.
That
But it's
sounds more
still-
fair.
It sounds more fair, but it's still a lot of burst
Yeah,
damage in a single
certainly.
beam.
We see maybe a carrier go down here. Aurora gets in on it, doesn't have much support. Flux is high. Hollow is going down. Lots of beams coming in. Now we're gonna see it go. Oh, executing. Executing what? Whatever you gotta do, do it.
Order 66. Order 66.
Now Maelstrom jumps forward, but isn't able to save it.
A little bit too late there.
A little too late. I think that's the first of the cruisers that we see go down, of the big ships. Yeah, except for the Haze, of course. Aurora pays for it, though, of course. Oh, what did I
Haze.
say? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is it Haze? But the Aurora does go down. There's one Aurora left, so squaring off with a single Tonnerre. So both Maelstroms are now focusing on the Astral.
And the Astral is retreating. It looks like it's kiting away. We'll hit the edge of the map pretty soon here, I imagine. Yeah, it is the cautious, timid game here. Both fleets not really ready to be the aggressors, especially with a carrier AI. I think this will wrap itself up eventually, or they'll just kite each other into oblivion. We see a phase ship, really high flux there, but this is really what we want to see. What happens here?
Yeah, this is the well, again, if this happens, if this goes through, this will be around. This will be wave 6.
Yeah, and it's
But
looking like a matter of
look at
time.
those killer bee waves are so scary.
They are. And every time they're on top of the ships and the missiles come out, the missiles just disappear almost as soon as they're launched. But they are draining their fighter numbers too. Not as many of them
Yeah,
made it out there.
There's actually a really decent point defense on both of their ships. So
There it goes.
when the killer bees came in, they did actually just die pretty quickly.
Wow.
Do you have a wave 6?
Yeah, standing tall.
Yep. It didn't party hard enough. What have we got to deal with?
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Hello. Triple Siegfrieds.
Wow. What an interesting assortment of fits too.
And I can see, yeah, it's several HVDs on one with Hephaestus. That one doesn't have, hang on, what does that one doesn't even have the,
Carrier goes down.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sure
That
we'll get
one-
a chance to look at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that one doesn't even have the big missile.
No, it doesn't. It's a
turrets on it.
Physis, I believe.
Yeah, it's got double Hephaestus on each side rather than the massive cannon. I don't even know, there must be a new variant. I don't recognize seeing that variant before. And those Chaos Marine ship, pretty much.
Yeah. Seems some Seeker representation, or more Seeker representation. What are these? Interesting kit bash.
Yeah, that's also, I believe, a Seeker ship.
With a mix of squalls and the, what are those, locusts?
Locusts, yeah, locusts and squalls.
Ooh, Maelstrom in a bad position. It is too distracted by a phase ship here, and shows its rear, but not
That
taking
is-
advantage.
That is 4 HVDs there, 2 Hephaestus. That's a lot of damage. That's essentially.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's one thing with the secrets. Their shields go offline every once in a while, so you got to capitalize on it. You have
Right.
to capitalize on it really, really quickly when it does that.
Maelstrom is not in a good place, and this phase ship is really giving it trouble.
Yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a really, really slippery place. Another carrier goes down. Yeah.
Yeah. Day's getting pummeled there.
And this is well, a consequence of the large fleet and them being so depleted too. But as soon as this fleet is split up, it really falls apart.
That Maelstrom is managing to unload the.
Oh, and it goes down. Just missed it.
Yeah, well, it was inevitable at that point. I want to see how much health that thing has left because it's been pulsed a lot. So hopefully, at 3/4 health or so. That high-tech has been firing pretty much non-stop at it for as long as it's been able to have a shot.
There's a bingo card. Are you guys serious?
I want to see this bingo card.
I want to see the bingo card. I almost didn't. Oh, if I had known. It's better that you guys didn't show actually the bingo card. But yeah, I think we're gonna see the cleanup here.
Well, again, there's no shame getting to the last wave. The only fleet to even get past wave 4. Never mind wave 5.
Oh, absolutely. This is 5 points. This is the first 5 points. Stand tall.
The bingo card is in the tournament Google Doc. I'll have a look at. After the
cool.
stream. Oh, I don't have to. I can look right now.
Yeah,
the benefits of not being the active streamer.
Yeah. Look at you. Freedom. I'll just stay here, chained to my chair. Oh, one goes down.
Everyone's filling it in. We haven't actually got to. We don't have bingo yet.
Oh, it's a communal bingo. We have one card.
Yeah, that's communal bingo for everyone.
Let's see. A slow death, as many of these later stage ones are. They are still high, but the fleet is just too split up.
Yeah.
Oh, Maelstrom. What are these called again? I'm sorry.
Siegfrieds, I believe.
Siegfrieds are not even in the fight. Don't really need to be.
You can mouse over and press R to lock onto them, which will let you know the use of loadouts and stuff, names and loadouts, etc. Chat yells zoom. They want to see the cannons fire. They want to see the cannons fire.
I mean, if they get to.
You're gonna believe.
I want them to. I want them to get over here. I think the Maelstrom will last. Tradition's coming in. Field's able to just angle enough.
Oh, perfect shield angling.
Yeah.
Perfect shield angling there.
Do want to see the Siegfrieds fire.
They're terrifying when they fire. They're genuinely terrifying.
I think
they've got carrier AI.
I think the Perditions are holding them back, keeping them unaggressive. They're just content to launch their Perditions. Flux is getting really high here. Ooh, yeah, dance a little closer to the secret. Oh, not the Perdition.
Oh.
Time to do this the old-fashioned way. What exactly does that mean? Oh. Whoa! There you go, chat.
There you go. There you go.
Your second off-screen death too, but that's what you wanted to see. All right, you get one or the other.
Fire canes.
Alrighty.
Those are terrifying. Those are terrifying.
But a convincing showing. Our first.
Absolutely, 5 points, no shame whatsoever.
No, fantastic.
The cards, the card and Gale Paladin, the people who got to round 5 were the people who didn't go wide. So maybe going tall is the answer to this.
Both strategies showing their strengths, what situations they work in, and certainly here it seems like tall is the way to go. Surprisingly enough.
Yep. Whereas again, you have 2 fleets that went wide again. So interesting to see how this works out. Yeah,
I recall the Shadow Fleet from last week. We also have the final countdown fleet with the Lonely Legion so far in the tournament. Oh yeah, and the Reaving Time Shuttle. Not too much added here. I think the Medusas were added, if I'm not mistaken. We have monitors.
Yeah, the Medusas and the monitors, the newest ones, unless there was a change in the actual lineup, which I don't seem to recall.
We have Clades added to this.
Yeah. I wish I had thought of this last round destroyers. Clades with auto pulse lasers. And so actually a bigger refit for the Shadow Fleet.
Yeah, seems like it.
Several competitors in there as well. What is the actual is the chrysalis the carrier again? The Charybdis, sorry, the Charybdis, is that the carrier for the? Because those carriers are not. I keep thinking that the Mercury is the carrier. Is
Right,
the carrier,
right, because of his position.
The Mercury is the flagship, right? I mean, Lightning. If the Mercury isn't the flagship, I'm disappointed.
Tartarus is my flagship, not refit. Hawthorne and Lightning JP. Dead, relatively wide fleets.
I wonder if we could actually we'll be able to make this as an actual sort of rule. And it's interesting to see, because if it turns out that everyone else gets 3 points and the Cart and Gold Paladin get 5, what will we see next week? Will we just see massively tall fleets next week?
Yeah, it's really neat to track the trends from round to round, right? What strategies tend to prevail and how the meta and the prevailing strategy from the previous round influences the next one. I definitely like to see
how it is the next round. How it influences patching as well, because sometimes you'll get mod patches between weeks and see how that influences patches.
Right, the
as
mod
well.
patches, and we're even seeing Alex is paying attention. His eyes are on us, and he definitely seems to be getting at least some kind of feedback from this. We're seeing a lot of AI and behavior tweaks, broadsides and such. I think that came out of seeing the Conquest performance, perhaps.
Yep, I'm
Also,
happy.
probably something he's just working on.
I like seeing sort of like mechanics changes. I don't like seeing balance changes come out of this, because there's too much stuff here that's not vanilla to be
very true.
for balancing stuff. And Alex is a very clever thing in ignoring mods when it comes to balancing, because everyone else has to work around his mods, which is the way it should be.
But yeah, the adjustments to the carrier AI and the broadside tweaks.
This is definitely a huge showcase on massive fleet AI and how AI handles itself, especially without player intervention. Because if there's a player ship about, then the AI behaves differently, and especially because it knows what to do, and the player a single player ship will vastly swing every fight.
On top of the player just being able to set escorts, waypoints, various commands.
Absolutely. My God, the Renegade's still alive. Sorry, it's like I blinked and it's like, there's something I don't usually see this far into round one. The Renegade is still alive.
How do you feel about the kill potential of this fleet? It doesn't feel as high. It feels like they're a little slow getting through here.
My God. Is that Renegade going to survive all the amalgams dying?
Medusa's laying into it, but
It has.
the Aurora too, but like, there's just not a lot of damage coming out of this player fleet. It's actually surprisingly tanky, and it has like little monitors in there, and the Shadow Yard ships are pretty resilient. There's of course a Legion, but yeah, they're really slow to kill, I think, which may give them some problems in the future, especially if they do some of the face-hugging shenanigans, just lose a lot of ships that way, which there's some risk of there.
Yeah, but still just a solid round one.
For sure. But it's more like formality, as you were saying before, I think last week.
Also, given performance this week, doing well at round one means you don't get past round 3. Because the only people to get past round 4 were the people who sucked at round 1.
Paradoxically, yeah. This is an interesting point.
Part of my brain is just like thinking about what's going to happen next week. Like I'm racing ahead, just trying to think about the kind of remnant mess we're going to see next week.
You have a whole week to do that too.
Yeah, my brain's going to be racing.
Been flamed out. All the carriers being a little bit too aggressive.
I believe that's when the squares in the bingo.
Is it already filled? It has to have been by now.
No, we have not got bingo. We have not got bingo. I'm not sure who's in charge of actually filling it out, but we haven't got a bingo yet. I think Tara is the one who's actually making sure this thing gets filled out properly. We have managed to just for well, we've had co-caster way too loud or too quiet. We've had professionalism. We've had sick torpedo dodges. We've had even taller. We've had them. I want to hit them with my sword death. We have a 0 CR shameful wave win, off-camera flagship death, hero fighter takes one for the team, and ally tries to help and dies. So we've had plenty. We haven't quite got bingo yet.
What's left?
Oh, loads. I'm not going to say it just in case we influence the. Because a lot of stuff is stuff we say.
Ah, I see.
So I don't want to say those out loud just because it'll influence the results. Fairly smooth so far. Yeah. Like again, I argue that. Okay, the first round was a bit of a strange because the aggro was really aggressive and so forth. But ever since then, I think Wave 2 is more of a mountain than Wave 1 is.
Really?
Because Wave 2 is just more of a it's just like more of a slow chug. Whereas like Wave 1, you can just sort of blitz through and then it's either whether the Renegade wants to fight or not. But in Wave 2, it's also just like I want to see what happens.
I would give like a qualified agreement for sure. It is like the CR sucker, right? It is not like a particularly difficult wave. Each of the fleets seems to just like handle it within its time for sure. But yeah, it's like a matter of like how long does it take them to get through all this HP, and then that CR loss goes to hurt them in the later waves.
Ooh,
yeah.
Mercury down.
Also
Mercury went down.
Yeah. The reaping time
Madness.
has ended.
It is no longer reaping time. Okay, this is Lightning G2, this is pure vanilla, so also a really nice combination of vanilla ships here. Those Sundays have got pulse lasers and not quite the Cutlass crazies, but again, I don't think you can you have Cutlasses in pure vanilla? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's the Infernus down and the Daggers is getting ganged up on. Still a Stalker up there, but
Aggregate is getting mobbed, but some of those ships better back off just a little bit before it goes down. There's some more collateral.
Cutlass is junk pirates, fair enough, yeah. The Wolf died by collision, probably, and that Medusa is shockingly still alive.
Oh no.
Yeah, I managed to put a shield in time.
Alrighty.
Yep, and there's always left is pretty much the Stalker right now. I'm gonna go, yep,
a little
wait
bit.
for that. Yeah, the Pirate Aurora, basically. Not the Pirate Aurora, so it's the Pirate Apogee.
Ooh,
Is what I think.
just jumps right in there.
Yep. As the Panther Angon, so like, yep, you know what? I want to be in there, and just loses about a quarter of its health.
To you, ooh, a Heron. Way out of position. Flux high. Its armor is very weak, so we'll see it get through very quickly.
It is not a combat carrier. It is not a combat carrier.
No, it's fast, but it is not meant for fighting, not like this, and it's gonna go down very quickly there. Unfortunate. Charybdis facing off against the Onslaught. Not a fair fight at all. Wants to get out of there for sure.
Yep.
He does. In fact, the Onslaught kind of lets it.
Yep. I think also didn't have enough flux to follow up. Although the Castella's there charging in saying, "Hi, remember me." I think it looks like that thing actually has a double hammer barrage at the front rather than just a single one. That's 8 hammers coming out every once in a while. Which is scary.
Variant.
Probably just see in Google Docs all the squares as people just mouse over all the little squares in the
Excited to fill in the bingo.
in the bingo, yeah.
Such an interesting system. I think that's probably one of the more unique ones we see. Is the shadow yards like what are they called?
Clay's like the Clay's just nope.
Yep,
Nope,
the retreat thrusters. Very neat. I like that a lot.
It makes him really hard to fight against.
Yes, absolutely infuriating. Like almost more so than a phase frigate in some
Yep.
ways. There it goes again. Alrighty.
Nope. Which is also really a bad thing when it decides to turn away from the fleet it's running from, because it just charges into it.
Yeah, it does seem to sometimes just kind of push the button regardless of whether or not the velocity, the vector it's getting is what it wants or is favorable to it. Seeing a lot of the power of this fleet kind of focused around this area,
Yeah.
and the same for this one. Up here, it's ships moving kind of in between and on the flanks. A lot of the where the action is right now.
I think one thing that's struck me about this fleet, this player fleet, is it doesn't have the big kill ship.
No.
It's got a legion, but the legion is its power is in its fighters, and it's got no SRA capitals either. It's got no big ship that goes there to kill things.
I think this is the second fleet to feature omens, which are a nice pick, but besides that, we're not seeing a lot of the more popular stuff like the. I think there are reapers, plenty of reapers here, but we're not seeing a lot of the perditions. I don't know if there are any perditions. I'm not seeing much of the SO'd Sunders with like a lot of kill potential. None of the big picks that we kind of see with people who have a lot of vanilla available to them, which is interesting. And yeah, their numbers are starting to get a little alarming. We still have a lot of the big ships left, but none of their ships were like the really big wow. They weren't the victories, or we still have the Legion, which matters in the Cryptus, but even then, those ships are just kind of more supporty ships, right? They're not really waiting in there and dealing the damage.
Again, the carrier eye. Someone's pointed out the carrier eye has definitely been a huge issue in this tournament so far.
Yeah. Sorted a lot of really quality fits, right? Like good ideas, but the performance-wise, when they are applied, just the way it shakes out with the AI is just not to their favor at all.
It's the stuff that would work perfectly well if they had like a single player just to dedicate targets in the field if they let you pick targets. Although I think we might be getting past this wave, which was a bit touch and go there for a second, to be honest.
Yeah. But the core of the fleet survives in a manner similar to the last round, although I wouldn't say this core is as strong as that one. What are they after? What's left? There's a small flight. Oh yeah, that's right, there's a Falcon in this fleet chasing this
That is
retribution.
Producing single railgun and 4 Vulcan cannons. It is just causing so much trouble. It's trying to face off against the Monitor. What are the monitors actually equipped with?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is
They
it actually got any
just have
weapons?
flak cannons.
Yeah, they're not got any weapons. They're just there as a PD boat. Everlasting variant, just designed not to die and just to take hits.
I think everybody's seen the Monitor meme. Alex himself posted it. I forget who posted it originally on the forums, but yeah, I mean the ship.
Monitors don't die.
No, they don't.
Die. They just do not die.
On a frigate chassis, no less. Tank, very affordable tank for sure.
There we go, and can't do anything at the moment.
No.
It's got a 22 CR. Wave 4, so
And this is where most fleets fall. Do you think they'll make it past this one? Do you think they have a chance?
I'm gonna be charitable and say that it could go that way. But I think it's gonna be more about how badly pirate AI screws up.
Yeah. I don't they spread out. I mean, it's looking pretty good right now.
I think it's someone put that they lost 2 ships to the retreat. They were pushed so back to the bottom of the map that when the retreat happened, they actually retreated. When the retreat if you're in the retreat area.
Right. That 1 second window, that like one frame window.
That one frame window when the retreat check happens. If you're in that area, you will manage to retreat.
That's unfortunate. Is it like game ruining? No, certainly not. But definitely not what this fleet needs right now against the big bad Wave 4.
Yeah.
And the Legion.
It was the Falcon.
Right. The Falcon was down there.
Galpaz, that's hard to manage to fix it. Well, it's something I don't think it can be fixed. It's literally like it's the only way to stop it is to do the override program, but that happens after the retreat check. So there's literally a one frame window that if they're in the right place and they have a retreat and they decide to retreat before they stop retreating, they'll be able to retreat for one frame. It's a niche case, and again, if it gets to that position, it's not as if your fleet was winning, because the retreat order only happens.
It just goes down.
If the fleet is going
right.
Not great.
We saw the Legion eating tons and tons of damage to that Wombo combo. 2 waves of it, I think. Just really tore into it, but it's still standing, and it is a carrier, so that's something. It has a lot of daggers.
Yeah. Legion's got 4 fighter bays. I think every single one of them is a dagger in this case.
I think it's 3 daggers and something else. Yeah.
Claws. Yeah, it's got some claws. I can see some claws out there. Which again, really useful.
That ion spam.
Never underestimate iron spam. It is so good. People were hovering over the death in wave 2 or less. Sadly, not so far.
No. Which is testament to our tournament participants. All of them have
absolutely
at least some idea what's going on, yeah?
Yeah, and it's never been a case, I think, so far, where one half has been completely wiped out and it's one person carrying. Both players have always been able to field something that's lasted for the entirety of the fight.
No, the players are certainly putting some thought into this. Their fleets have some synergy going on. Yeah, you would hope so, right?
They're doing very well. They're doing very well.
They are doing fantastic.
They're doing very. This credit where credit is due. They're doing really well. Is that they can control the AI hiccups, and sometimes you just can't plan for them.
No.
At least what we haven't seen so far is we haven't seen the hung AI glitch. That seems to have disappeared, actually. Where some ships would just go to the other side of the map and just not do anything. And if that happened to a capital ship, well, that's groundbreaking.
Yeah, we have a failsafe for that, I believe. We can reposition a ship if need be, but I don't know actually what case Tartaflight would want that used, but hopefully that just won't become a thing.
Yeah, I used it the last couple of tournaments just to move something, but I hated doing it simply because if I move something, it's always going to affect the results somewhat, because I'm either putting them like in range or out of range, or something. Because if I don't put them in weapons range, that usually doesn't fix the problem.
Right.
I have to put them in weapons range. If I have to put them in weapons range, they basically get to close to weapons range without being shot at. Which, just so you see, if ships could close into weapons range without being shot at, that would be a huge advantage.
Yeah, you would like to see it just occur naturally, right?
Yeah.
Fairness.
You can probably speed up the rest of this, I think, because there's nothing much left happening here, I think. I don't think there's anything left. What's left alive?
Just a few frigates. Oh. Your horror is still alive?
Well, but it's a monitor that's never going to die, so we're going to be here forever. And before the Aurora dies, before the Medusa, before the monitor. Oh well, never mind. Just because I said it too. We've had a reckless carrier death. We've had blue on blue, apparently. Have we had blue on blue? Charybdis killed by storm blasters off the Tartarus. Heron charges the entire LP wave at once. Yeah, that's true. It did do that.
And here's you foreshadowed it before.
Yep. Here is the Blackrock. The Blackrock tournament specific only exists for the tournament patch.
Yeah, and it has only gotten wider, it seems.
Also, wider?
Ooh.
No, Goblins, but he's added in a Kermaraja. Yeah, Kermaraja.
Right, it was about this wide. Interesting.
It's about that wide. Yep, it took all the points and put in, which is like, you just went taller. It's like, we were plenty wide. Here, have a capital.
Right. And now we have a balanced fleet.
Those are 4 Buffalo Mark IIs. 2 more Condors and 5 Lashers in the low-tech fleet there.
The communist cloud thickens, huh?
Yeah, that is prediction bombers as well, and yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
So, very wide fleet. I think this may be the widest.
I think that classifies as even wider.
Mm-hmm.
Wide fleet went even wider. 2 Vindicators. Yeah, there's 2 Vindicators, 1 S and 1 regular. The Kurmaraja, which could be very useful because the Kurmaraja's interdicting field can really slow things down. Hey, Renegade, come on!
How's that function here, the interdiction?
It'll stop fighters moving, it'll stop projectiles in midair. So if they get to wave 4, stop all the carriers.
Renegade, as always, is consistent.
Yep. Nevermore, go baby. Go baby. Nevermore. You've got so much high exposure that just put the damage down. Buffalo Mark II is going down, but only the enemy one. The player Buffalo Mark II is still alive. Nevermore is full gales plus gunnery AI. Near his gale cannons, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. I love the Nevermore.
I can tell every time it's on screen.
Oh, it is my favorite ship. It has been since season 2 of my Starsector seasons. It has been my favorite ship. My first love. What else have we got on that? It's Kurmaraja. It's got Mjolnir on it. A couple of heavy mortars, it looks like. Those are HPDs.
Oh, I think those are HVDs.
Again, it's a really useful ship. It's just also there to do the interdiction field. Rubber fly down. A couple of goblins hurting because someone breathed on them, probably.
Yeah.
Is the Battlesong close to your level of Nevermore? The Battlesong is really cool. It's nowhere near close to my level of Nevermore. I think the Battlesong is really, really cool, but it's nowhere near how I feel for Nevermore.
Some face hugging. No. Some overloads, but nothing too bad.
No, but as long as your shield's up.
Yep.
Like, the damage won't go through your shield. As long as your shield is up, you'll overload, but you won't get hit by it. I'm sure the Amalgam explosion took down the Dominator, though, so...
Yeah, again, the widest fleet and also the biggest concave here. Convincing showing. A handful of losses, I think. Not too many.
Not many.
No.
Hammerhead to a rubber fly, if that.
Even with all of these really fragile ships in the mix.
Even with the Buffalo Mark IIs in the mix.
Right. We're on to wave 2. This is the wave that historically has taken the longest time to go through. I'm interested to see how fast they're able to push through this and what the battle line kind of shakes up to. Yeah, pretty clean wave 1. I agree.
Like, we lost a couple of frigates, but again, the things that die if you breathe on them, so a huge problem.
Right.
It's just how are they going to get through the HP slog here? And also the missile spam. There are a lot of pylons coming out here.
Yeah.
A lot of pylons come out here. So this is a test of PD to a certain degree. The double KO square, according to Tartiflet, is for when where 2 ships dueling kill each other.
Oh.
Look at all those frigates die. Look at that. Sidecars, Challengers, Torches.
And they're all red.
All red.
Just a phase. Every time we get to this wave, they have to get through.
Yeah. Again, the Vindicator's still there doing strong. The new Vindicator is is not the S. It doesn't have two doubles. It's not got double Gungnir. It's got a single Gungnir and a missile on it, which is very good. Ammo explosion on the 4A. That's one of the problems with the 4A is that it has a problem where it can self-detonate.
Interesting balancing mechanic. I like that.
It's built into the hull mod, I believe. Like it gets extra missiles or something, but it'll explode if it takes a weapon destroyed hit on the hammer barrage. What are you yawning about?
Oh, nothing. This exciting Niagara. Just getting into the thick of it, unleashing its auto cannon. Ooh, I think we're seeing some of that interdiction you were talking about.
Yep. You can see it happen. It's very interesting. It's very interesting when you see it happen. It's very. You're like, is it happening? Oh, it is happening.
A unique
cool.
effect, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pain to code.
Slicer it. Again, I'm pretty sure that tournaments exist only for the
Black Rock to get updated.
Updated.
Yes, we have seen people make it past Wave 4 Chaos Farseer.
Yep, the Diable DME got to Wave 6, which was quite nice. It was a really good go. Almost reapered an ally. Whoops. A spark that drops from everywhere. Overloads.
Oh. We have the LP wave. I believe they dealt with that previous wave so handily. We're getting near the end here, but definitely hype about the rate at which they're carving through these waves. There's so many ships out.
Again, this is the twist between this and the DADME wing is like they still outnumber, like the players outnumber the AI in this wave, which again I think makes a difference.
Yeah, we're seeing go really tall instead, and counterculture kind of thing, and also just go even wider. Do also work, yeah.
Going tall worked. Everyone who's gone wide has only reached wave 4. Oh, nevermore. Keep firing. Keep firing!
Yes. Go Dram. Do it. Flame up.
Nah, it's just deleted.
Yeah, just one salvo. I have never seen this.
The Onslaught and the Castella are just too afraid to get in.
I've never seen the safety overrided fleet back off like this. Oh, the Castella, is it intimidated? Surges forward.
Surges forward. It's a do or die moment, and I think it's gonna be the die.
I think it's the latter. I'm feeling like, ooh, might be the latter.
Although it does manage to take a Dynastos and a Robberfly with it at the same time.
But we're getting later in the waves, and that's kind of what you expect to see. It's just the frigates kind of fall off. In fact, it's kind of late for those to fall off relative to the other fleets.
I think the Dynastos had its shield up and overloaded a split second before the explosion, which was a shame.
Yeah, it was a shame. You hate to see it.
Because it had its shield up, which is the right idea, but it still just didn't quite manage. And the Onslaught's there.
Again, handily. Wave 3.
Oh my god, so many perditions.
Yeah.
So many perditions. That was, I lost count. I honestly lost count of how many hammers that was.
I have no idea. So many coming in. And we're on to a out of a very convincing wave 3 and onto
And wave 4 that could be good.
Strong wave 4. Look at this fleet. It is a healthy fleet. This is one of the healthiest fleets we've ever seen walk into wave 4.
You still have okay. There's no capital on the low tech side, but that's a Dominator and 2 Vindicators there. It's really strong. The Mirage is still there, interdicting. Although there's not a lot of things being affected by the interdiction at the moment. A couple of enemy fighters here and there, but not.
Nevermore in the thick of it.
Yeah.
High flux.
Yeah. Oh, this is a Black Rock ship. Black Rock ships have a huge bonus to venting speed. So
Oh yeah,
as long as it manages to back up long enough, it'll vent really quickly.
I was certainly not worried, but definitely in the thick of it, some action there.
More is thick. Yeah. With 4 Cs. And then we're backs off and a harpoon wave takes over. Absolutely. I like the Vindicators just in the back there, just shooting. Really, really nice. Because they have range, this fleet as well. They've got nice range. They can get up there and do the damage, but they can also hang back and shoot and stay out of range.
Seeing the torps that were really strong last time come into effect here, but also, yeah, that very effective range really coming to bear. We saw a little bit out of the Vindicators last time, but I think there was only a single one.
Yeah, only one was last time. The one with the double Gungnir cannons. This time is one with the Gungnir cannon and the Trebuchet long-range missiles, so still adding to the massive range.
Yeah. And the fleet has really just like leaned into that archetype as well.
It's working really well for us.
It really is.
Oh, and the partition bomber wings. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I don't.
That looked like 14 fired at least for the Castella
That
dies.
is so many hammers.
That worked really well. That Tumbleweed is getting pummeled. Also got to worry about its Rage torpedoes as well from the BlackRock side. I believe they're firing Rages here and there. Or Furies, not Rages, I'm sorry.
Oof, wow. Just sneaks in there with those hammerheads. Right past the line.
It's a very good point, because I remember I was talking very early in the stream that I wasn't seeing a lot of team.
That's also true,
play.
yeah.
This fleet is doing team play very well.
But that's just, the fleets are so wide, how could they not? They have to share space, and there's so many of them. They're just going to fall into formation like this and overlap. But yeah, it definitely is showing here. I think the Diable and DME fleets also had a neat kind of cooperation going on.
I think that it was easier for them because they had less ships, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is like definitely a huge fleet. Ships of every both factions have mixed between each other. Very nice. It's the second ever fleet to get past Wave 4. And to be fair, I've only seen Wave 5 once, but it definitely felt to me that Wave 5 was easier than Wave 4.
Really? You felt that way?
I felt that way. I guess it depends to how much point defense you can get out to get those killer bees out the way.
Right.
Which again will be the Kurmaraja will do great work there, because the Kurmaraja will just stop them from moving.
Yeah. Aurors in general, yeah, in my experience, somebody's pointed out, got Paladin, that Aurors tend to be a little suicidal. This is very true. I don't know if it's because of their,
That Moor is not the best one right now.
No, it's not. And it can tank. Those ships can take quite a beating, but it is so out of position, I don't know how it's going to get. It's not. Unfortunately.
That is definitely
I have just
there.
the thing for you, he says his final words.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, as I'm looking at it, I would tend to agree. Capital Fleet is really about this big capital. And the 4 Auroras, and the Auroras tend to get themselves into kind of goofy circumstances here. I don't even know what this one is doing. I think it's chasing something off
I
far
would
to the
say
right.
that this is the pirate fleet has gone tall here.
Yeah, yeah.
The pirate fleet's gone tall, and it's having the exact same problem that some of the player fleets were having last time.
If a fleet comes to this wave as healthy as this one is, then it actually, as we're seeing here, is going to walk all over it.
Absolutely. They're losing the players are losing like a frigate here and there, but that doesn't make a difference, not in the long term.
No.
Like the big ships are still healthy. We lost the Mora, fair enough. The Nevermore is there, the Kurmirage is there, the Knight is there, both the Vindicators are there, the Dominator's still there. There's a Vanguard over there, and a couple of Enforcers.
This wave doesn't have big juicy cannons, doesn't have like torpedo spam, long range guns. It just has like a decent number of beams, some Auroras with like pulse and
the killer bees have been pulled back into defensive, and they're not coming out to protect anymore. They're literally there to stop missile waves.
Here we're seeing them come out and search for it a little bit.
There you go, and immediately you can see the interdictor over there just stopping all the killer bees, all their agility just
all
gone.
of them trapped.
All their agility is just completely slowed down, and they just get taken apart by things that would otherwise miss them.
And Kurmirage is taking a beating as a result from that the phase disco ball, I think. scything right into it.
The Tachyon disco ball.
Ah, Tachyon
It is a scarier disco ball than that.
Certainly. Didn't do it justice, I apologize.
It's a shame. It's a huge hurt, but it's definitely not enough to stop this fleet.
But I think at wave 4, you're content with that trade. Maybe not happy with
This
it.
is wave 5. At wave 5,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. Having gotten past wave 4 into wave 5, on to wave 6. That of all the times you're going to trade it, yeah.
That's pretty good. And then Komaraja dies a hero, much like they did in the last tournament. Komarajas just tend to do very, very well.
Yeah. You have a healthy Aurora here. Doing what Auroras do. Died at Hammerheads, apparently.
Look at that hammer barrage. It's so beautiful. We're gunning their cannon shots coming in there. You can see a couple of what looks to be ferro cannon shots, possibly. Are those ferro? No, those are HVDs. My bad.
No, still something. Ah, yes. Spaceship. Oh, great.
Yeah, there's a Hyperion there. It's a Hyperion.
Yeah.
There's one Hyperion in that fleet.
Really fun ship to fly, not so fun to play against.
Nope, it
Evidenced.
is annoying to play against. But final wave.
We have the return of the Siegfrieds. What are these? These are bonnet heads. Interesting.
Yeah, they're bonnet head. Yeah, they're bonnet heads. Again, I think they're a seeker ship again. It's not like a huge fancy seeker ship like the Siegfrieds are, but they are still seeker ships. Tiger down, Predator X down.
Do you think they're gonna do it?
They have a really good chance. They have a really good chance.
I think they could do it.
If they manage to take out all the little
Yeah.
all the basically destroyers and smaller.
Clean up the escorts for the
Clean up the
Siegfrieds.
escort,
Try and
Siegfrieds.
stay away from them, and then yeah, I think they have a decent shot of just getting a good concave on the Siegfrieds. I mean, they are capital ships after all. They put out a lot of damage, but once they're outnumbered, I mean, there's only so many angles they can cover.
Yep, they automatically overload themselves for a split second whether their shields come down as well. So you can. They're very strong, but they've got definite weaknesses.
Oh,
If you manage to outnumber, I think because the shield on Siegfried is a short lasting thing. Like it puts it up for a split second, then it goes down. It'll temporarily, like for a split second, overload itself, and then the shield will be down for a while.
Interesting. We're seeing it here.
Which means,
yeah.
well, yeah, when that shield is down, hit it with as much high explosive as you can. It's an HP tank. It'll take a lot of damage before it goes down, but it can't regen armor. You can see how much damage it takes to even get through the armor of that thing, but it'll die.
Yeah, the player fleet is doing a good job of just ignoring the Siegfried. Just leave them alone. Deal with the escorts first.
The Fury torpedoes really scream as well when they start firing.
Yeah, they do.
I think they're Furies or they're Rages. I get really confused now. I think they're Furies. The Rages are short-range missiles.
I believe you're correct.
I think the Vindicator's doing a really good. That Vindicator's just staying kind of far from that that Siegfried and just firing its high explosive cannons whenever it can.
Yeah.
Like just stay there because
It has good cover.
specifically because the frontal Siegfried is the one that doesn't have the fire canes, so it's definitely the one that has the shortest range and the least threatening loadout.
Right.
So that is definitely going to see the death of the first Siegfried here. Well, no, that's not true. There was a Siegfried death in the DME one. Or a lie, they also
Yeah, I believe they killed the same one. Yep.
There's one Siegfried down.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of action over here on this flank. I'm not sure who has the upper hand.
That's probably going to be that's a dead Vindicator though. It's just sitting in front of the fire
Which
canes
one
there.
was that? Oh, it is not the dual.
No, it wasn't the dual one. That was not the dual one. That
Yeah.
was the regular one. But yeah, you do not want to sit in front of those fire canes. You
not.
definitely do not want to sit in front of those fire canes.
You're Nevermore here going to work on one of the bonnets.
Yep.
Yeah. The fight is spread out.
It's pretty spread out. It's definitely, again, it's going to take out the chaff, take out the take out the little side things, and then once that's done, you can just collapse upon them. They haven't got a lot of weapons. Like they've got really powerful front weapons.
Ooh, is that an assist? Was he trying to save that Vindicator? Definitely covered him.
Try or not, definitely worked out.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure how much
killed
longer
in the
it's gonna take.
process.
They
Where the
are
cannon's turning
essentially-
now?
As far as I understand, the fire cannons are essentially just triple hellbores. It's got 6
Right.
hellbores facing forwards with extra long range, as far as I'm aware. And we have dangers of malfunction of combat readiness on Nevermore, Eurypterus.
They are
This is gonna have
buried
some-
pretty heavily, but
Yeah, we're hitting OCR now.
starting to get low, but they can still do it. They have enough.
Oh yeah.
Here, this flank is pulling away some key ships. Definitely working in their favor, while the rest of the fleet squares up against the Siegfrieds. How is that going to work out for them, though?
But no, because those fire kings really hurt. They just delete ships. They just delete ships. This is down. I think that Nevermore has got the full attention of that one. Well, that's Siegfried pretty much at this point.
Oh no.
And that's what happens if you can't take care of the
Yeah.
the escorts quickly enough.
Sheesh.
Jesus.
Oh no, little Condor. Actually switches away off the Condor. Finds a new target.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied.
It just looks back and goes, no.
No.
So, sorry, I thought you would have died by now. It just goes back.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you shoot something like you should have died, and goes back and just finishes the job.
I don't want to miss this.
I'm gonna be so sad.
Oh, you hate to see it.
I hate to see it. I hate to see it.
CR has just gotten too low.
Even I typed an F in chat for this one because I had to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Appropriate. I mean, it's the dream, right? Absolutely. Getting past wave 6, but those fire canes are dream killers. Oof.
The Vindicator's still up. Condo's still up. Buffalo Mark II finally down.
Vindicator, something about the Vindicator was said recently. What was that? Oh no.
Well,
And that's all she wrote, I think.
yeah, someone pointed out that if the Kurmaraja hadn't actually died before, it would have been amazing at this because the Kurmaraja would have stopped the fire cane shots in their tracks.
You think that was a factor here for sure? That was I said that it was a good time to lose it, but simultaneously, if
The
wave...
last surviving ship was a Buffalo Mark II as well.
Of course.
Of course it is.
The last Buffalo.
The last Buffalo. That's the last one standing and get triggered, I think.
Yeah, and I think we have our last pairing?
That'll be our last pairing, indeed.
We have H group, Dauntless and Gwyvern. And Gwyvern has been in chat. I've seen the name for a little while now.
Yep,
Finally
it's
up.
High Tech and Psy.
Yes, an interesting pairing for sure. We have
So several more Circes and a couple of Vortexes, I see.
yeah, a lot more
one-
Circes added. We had one before, right?
We had one before, so 3 more and a couple of Vortexes.
Odyssey, Calliope. Medusa's return, the Shrike's return. Yeah, you mentioned the Vortexes. Fitted with Zephos. Double Lightning Phase Bomber. I think the Zephos is probably out of the Odyssey.
Yeah, the Zephos was in the Odyssey before, so the Vortexes have the Lightning Phase Bombers.
And we see, of course, out of the
The Nemean line still does not have triple singularity torpedoes,
interesting.
so I am very unimpressed.
The gear attack.
Yeah.
Spycraft they've brought, and then they've gone wide. Other than that, just lots of destroyers added to the mix.
Yeah, loads of extra Lamias.
Alrighty.
Yeah, the other chat's like, why no singularity torps? It's like, no, we must have singularity torps.
And
We
Dauntless
must.
up. That they physics, they definitely pushed the engine.
Oh my god, I love it. I had never, like, when that happened, I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard.
Renegade coming at you. Always starting us off with a bang.
Coming at you live. Oh yeah.
There it goes. Getting in there.
They got nerfed at the last tournament. It's like, no. They didn't get nerfed. They just don't multiply their effect as much. I humbly request a joke singularity torpedo that you can't actually get in the campaign, but you can still get. That's still in the game. That still like does the stupid effects, because that would be amazing.
Like the neutrino hammer thing. There's that sledgehammer, I believe it is. That's just in a mission. Can't actually get in the game.
Oh, there we go. Coming in, say hi. I had the Odyssey, say hi to a couple of Cerseys.
That's the longest it's lasted, to my knowledge, as far as I can remember.
It lasted a long time, I think, versus the pure vanilla SRA one. So it just stayed around for ages.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
right. It was in the back.
It outlasted both the amalgams, which was just wrong.
Yeah, these fleets very split up, kind of just fighting their own battles.
Yeah.
At least in this initial phase, which is not uncommon, I think, in the first wave.
Well, usually because usually the fleet restart teleports them both to the same place.
Yeah,
That's what usually happens. Groups them up. Oh, that's the Draconade took an overload there and has a lot of missiles to worry about. But nope, I just stop them all. That is a triple Gauss cannon. The Hellboards have been replaced for 2 Gauss cannons on that Nemean line. Hopefully the Nemean line will not lose the Lion's hide so quickly this time.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a dead amalgam. Gauss cannons do cause kinetic damage, but they cause a lot of damage, and damage just hurts no matter what.
Renegade taking a little while to go down, with just like tag beams pouring into it and pulse lasers.
Is
the armor's fresh on that side.
I was trying to find people whose names don't match up in chat. Is Morgan Rue Dauntless in chat?
Yes.
Cool. Noted. So we know who you are now. I know where you live.
Wow. Okay.
I have a special set of skills.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Calm down, Mr. Neeson. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's where they no, so they all managed to teleport closer together, so they've had an easier time working together
Some
now.
mixing for sure. Yeah. You mean line? Bring up the center. The Odyssey closely behind it. All the combat freighter Circes forming a nice, just dense bulk of laser fire.
The Coracottas weren't there last time, were they?
Don't believe so.
Coracottas were not. Again, really, really good ships, really good cruisers,
Yeah.
solid. Just nothing flashy. They just work.
They just work.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cormoran for the DMA. It's like nothing, no huge gimmick. It's just a very good cruiser.
Yeah, that's what we see out of vanilla too, a lot. Nothing too crazy or anything. It's a good pattern to follow, for sure. A solid
Todd
ship.
Howard ships. It just works. The Ron Seal of Starsector does what it says on the tin.
Ooh, I don't know if that's the recommendation that you want. Not the best endorsement. Not as of late. And we're gonna see a Crocodile go down.
No one else knows who John Nunes was.
Emian coming forward. Doesn't have its guns trained on. Yeah, it doesn't have its guns trained on the capital ship right in front of it.
Must kill that frigate. Or something. It's sniping something like really far back.
I think so. Oh. Yeah, this is common behavior we're seeing, right? The capital ships just don't want to engage each other. They want to kill the smaller ships first, and it kind of makes sense, but at the same time...
The Nemo line is definitely overextended here. I mean, it's got the Lion's hide, but that doesn't... You can't be cavalier about that.
No, you want to spend that when you have to. You don't want to just waste it. Ooh, near
Yeah.
torpedo miss. Nice dodge.
Nope, that's yeah, that's that square's already been filled in. Sick torpedo dodge has already been filled in.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a bingo.
I think we have bingo.
Oh, do we?
I think we've had bingo. Also, let's double check that, but it looks like we have had a bingo.
Well, I'm glad we could provide bingo, of course. Everybody.
We got bingo.
The community is
Bingo,
bingoed.
bingo in chat, folks. Bingo in chat.
Oh, what was the final?
Last one was death by Allied Ram,
Oh.
which was something about people have different nominations. The closest one I see written down here is a goblin that rammed the Nevermore and killed itself.
I see.
Quiverin is like, I'm not sure we're gonna get past wave 3. He's like, well, you know what would have happened? Would have helped. Triple singularity torpedoes in that Moon Lion.
A lot of
Triple
value
singularities.
out of these fleets with like the combat frares and everything. But yeah, a little slow to kill. So I think I would match that prediction for sure. It's tough. It's like a really tough fleet, I would say. Nemo Lion definitely has a lot to do with that. In general, they seem pretty safe ships. They kite well. They have pretty good flux capacity. But yeah, they're a little slow to just
Oh,
like.
you said flux. Jesus, I got really confused for a second.
Yeah.
Again, I think the wall actually sort of charged forward there, the Niagara. But for the
Niagara's
first time,
pretty gay.
Niagara's like bookending the actual tournament. 'Cause the Niagara started at round A, started by attacking things, and now round H is now attacking things.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of forced to. Very maneuverable ships just kind of wrapped around it.
Yeah, and as good as it is, without support, it can't do anything, so it's just gonna stay there and just slowly die. It'll take a while, because it's the armor and lack of high, big, single damage weapons. Like,
It's largely stripped at this point. And there it goes.
yeah, the armor's down, it just goes. That's a lot of beams. That is a lot of beams.
Yeah. Alrighty, and yeah, the fleet's looking kind of small, isn't it?
Yep. I still think they can get past wave 3. Like,
You do?
yeah, I think they managed to salvage enough. I mean, the Nemean line's in pretty good shape.
I think that onslaught always surprises us a little bit. It probably has like one of the higher kill counts. But yeah. could be.
Yeah, I think I'll make it past wave 3. I'm not sure they'll make past well enough to put a good dent into wave 4, but I'm pretty sure they'll get past wave 3.
Right. Bella coming forward.
Yeah. Especially if the Castell like overextends like that. The Castell's good
Yeah.
if he gets single ships. It doesn't want to run into the entire fleet, just much the same way the Nemean line doesn't want to rush into an entire fleet.
You mean line here? Interesting target selection. Going after the Colossus. First, not really sure what he wants to go after. Really, it seems like at least the Odyssey.
Because the Pather Colossus is like a foray, I believe. It has the hammer barrage, rather the pirate Pather Colossus is
Right.
the carrier.
Mark 3.
Like, yeah, so the Colossus Mark III is a carrier, whereas the Pather Colossus Mark III is not. It's
Odyssey just score off against the
fun?
onslaught there.
some Reaper shots there. Again,
Oh, down to half health.
capitals do not want to run into these fleets. This works both ways.
Albion Fortress is in the face of the Odyssey. Getting some shots past his shield too. I'm spinning my wheels, man. Indeed, he's got him turning in circles.
Yep.
Down to a quarter health. Even Lion is taking some hits too. Hasn't lost his armor yet though. Must have taken it on the nose or something.
One Vortex down.
Yeah, they're getting pushed back. The LP are just driving them away. And they're split too. There's a line down here separating
Yeah.
these two parts of the fleets. A lot of the support elements, the smaller ships that should be backing these up. Well, not should be, but would be very useful backing these up are nowhere to be seen, cut off. And the onslaught
Yeah,
is just like, okay.
Yeah, Yeah, that line needs to turn around and put those bosses just attack. Ooh, dude. It's a brave moment where you just vent out in front of something like that because of so the hammers that can just come out, but it managed to get its shield back in time and just tank those hammers on the shield. Because again, Lion's Hide can take some damage. It can't take infinite damage.
No.
Once it breaks, there's not much armor beneath it.
Fine. Took a lot of locust nose earlier in the round. Something on the flank of the onslaught might distract it for a little bit as it backs up and this becomes the closest target, which would work to the Odyssey's favor. Odyssey comes around, bursts forward, gets a bit of a flank on it. Yeah, is it's distracted by the Circe.
Yep, just get some shots behind the shield.
Depo's just firing, arcing all over the engines, get a flame out, I believe.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want loads of iron into the battle. You don't want that thing to be able to turn. You don't want that thing
This
to
is
do
a
anything.
big turn for sure for this fleet. They really need this.
This
Onslaught.
worked beautifully. That Cersei just sort of saved it by just getting behind and distracting enough for the Xyphos to be able to get ions straight into the engines.
Yeah, I see the smaller ship facing off against the capital and just goes for the smaller ship inevitably, it seems like. That seems to be one of the big AI patterns we're seeing in this round of the tournament.
Yep. Look at that.
And,
Boom. Onslaught's gone down. Everything else is done. Now it's cleanup. Now it's just cleanup. So yeah, so they get past this, but to be fair, they got past this better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, I thought that there would be more losses to Panther fleet. So I think they might be able to get past Wave 4, depending on how. It might depend to how generous the teleport is. They're like the reset teleport.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we're gonna see is I'm sorry, this is all dumb here. One of the things we're gonna see is that Odyssey go down next round. Took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Like 3/4 of his health just in this round, and get caught out one more time, and it'll go down very fast.
Yeah, and then there's also CR warnings coming up, so CR is going to be a problem for this fleet.
Yeah, this fleet is still consistently taking a while to take down its targets. Even with the advantage, like here, we see a Dami. Yeah, it's a Dami. And it's a tough ship to take down, but they have like the full might of their fleet to bring to bear, but they don't have the speed to just like get on top of it. They don't have the damage or like the torque span to just like wipe it out.
The lightning phase bombers can do the damage because they've all got anti-magic blasters each, but still a bit of thing. Again, I think if they manage to cull the chaff quickly, they can focus on the big ships.
And I think one of the carriers already went down, so it's only 2 flights of those animator, the blaster bombers.
Yeah. And apparently this took 5 minutes to get to Wave 4, compared to 5 minutes longer than other fleets to get to Wave 4. So yeah, so this is a slow. The time to kill in this fleet's a bit high. You want a faster time to kill because again, beam spam looks pretty and is awesomely effective, but it doesn't necessarily translate to the big one shot, what the big one hits. Beams are great for damage over time and very effective in that front, but. Oh, it's very some clenched bums in that Odyssey for sure.
Yeah, it could have gone down there very easily if it wasn't such a narrow ship.
If you beam spam with tachyons, then I'll agree with that. Beam spam with tachyons is definitely the better kind of beam spam.
Yeah, tachyons versus tactical lasers. Yeah, I think everybody takes that trade for sure.
I want to see killer bees with tachyon lances. That's all I want to see.
I don't know if you want to see that. Depends which end of the tachyons, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Working the flank on this Odyssey. Gets a nice flank on it. A lot of shots coming in, just picking away at it.
Yeah,
Odyssey
it doesn't have enough hull to just getting past any damage to the hull now is deadly.
Doesn't capitalize on it. The Odyssey is able to egress. Ooh. Built a lot of capacitor on it, so that's not nearly enough predictions.
No. Again, the high-tech ship can tank a lot of things in the shield. Especially high explosive damage, which just does half damage to shields anyway.
And usually ships overcome that just with volume of fire, but just 4 hammerheads? No, just shrug it off. High-tech ship, like you were saying.
Tachyons and killer bees, bad, Nemo. Very bad. It's like, yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
Not seeing... I think I felt like this last round too. The Nemean line just still fails to impress really. I feel like I'm... Oof, there it goes.
Yep, some side shots just got past the shields.
But I feel like we're not getting our bang for our buck out of this Nemean Lion, ever. And it's kind of the story of a lot of the big capitals, the big gun-toting conquests, the Nemean Lions, and the victories.
The Maelstroms did well.
Yes, they certainly did. They're the exception. One of the big
Maelstroms
things
did
about the
well,
Maelstrom
and-
is they have the flicker kind of thing, the phase ability. That
Yeah,
allows
the
them to
flicker, right.
reposition really well. And then they have a little bit of carrier capacity, the missile spam, very unique ships as far as capitals go. These big gun-toting ships, very different story. Not nearly as impressive. I think the best one we've seen is the Victory, too.
I think it's a case that this Nemean line doesn't quite. It needs more. It doesn't have enough just on itself. Because it's got the like triple Gauss, which is great for kinetic, but it needs something else to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that both the Maelstroms, for example, had a long range, super long range weapons.
It's kind of a...
advanced avionics accuracy bonuses, but also they had each of them had a kinetic weapon and the damage, both the way to break your shield and damage, the way to get damage, like
Right.
the HVDs and the hail and the high intensity lasers, and the SRDs and whatever. I forgot what the large amount was in the other one, but they were self-sufficient.
Right.
That-
And I think we're seeing here that when you take a capital ship and you fit it out for like kind of a support role like this, you get that effect, right? And you want this to be like a smaller hull, perhaps.
Yeah, and Maelstrom save a lot of OP by not needing maneuvering jets because they can just change facing very quickly. They're extremely thin. Their turrets are fast turners anyway.
Yeah.
It's a very good ship.
It's
very-
very optimal for Starsector's mechanics, especially. Yeah, the narrowness helps a lot.
Whoever's saying that they tried a broadening line and didn't do well,
And it
either.
didn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I believe it, but
I
so the
believe
question
it.
is like, what do you do with a Nemean line now that you have a Nemean line? How do you make it really effective? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Got to be asking themselves.
I haven't actually seen. I'm sure it's been considered, but I haven't actually seen them getting the massive carrier, the one with like the huge kinetic weapon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot what it's called. I think it starts with a K.
You put
I
three singular
remember
hits.
the name of the weapon, the Astrapios cannon, but I can't remember the name of the actual ship. And I don't think I've ever remember seeing it in a tournament. Have the side players tried it out? And sort of the Keto. That's the Keto. There you go. And he was named after a diet.
What a way to remember it. I mean, yeah, they were. That's what I think
Keto,
of
the
too.
Paleo, or is it the Atkins? I can't remember.
Well, it's close. We're getting into low CR, so I don't know if
Yeah.
we'll be able to do it. But they seem so close.
Like they're not getting wiped out.
No.
they're gonna die to CR problems.
And this is what we keep coming back to is that this fleet is just a little low on the kill potential, right? The beams or whatever, very efficient weapons, but also just not able to just like seal the deal and close it out once you have the positioning advantage or you have the overwhelming numbers, which we saw several times, but can't close it out, so it just takes a little too long.
Yeah, these beams need a bit of help getting through shields as well, because you can keep firing a beam at a shield forever, and you're just gonna have a lot of trouble getting through it.
And for example, there's some help here, like for certain. That's kind of what the ship does, and so it is a nice pairing when you say that. It definitely is worth mentioning. But yeah, just the way that it's actually performing. A lot of times the Nemean line is shooting at like smaller ships with a big ship right in front of it. We see that weird AI quirk. Yeah, just not quite able to close it out. And I think as this seriously goes down, I'm gonna speed through and see them square off against the Nemean line. One of his armors goes down, some hide.
Yeah, it was the first time. Well, I'm happy to see the fact that the Nemean line has actually managed to keep its hide for most of the fight.
Yeah.
One of the problems we had last time is that the line got to this stage, like in the first or second wave.
Yes. I believe it was like the second wave, it face hugged something and took a bunch of damage, or
And lost both of the...
or overloaded, I
Right.
forget. But there it goes.
Yeah.
As soon as the hide's down, yeah, it's pretty vulnerable. And we're going to see the cleanup on wave 4, which seems to be a pattern.
It likes to use the Gauss's PD weapons.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, that is like it's a pretty interesting pattern what we have this week because again, it was wave 4 is like the standard, and if you got past wave 4, you could get past wave 5 fairly easily.
Yeah. An interesting pacing there. I think it made for the Cabal fleet was neat to see for sure, but yeah, it also wasn't just like the Ender. We got to get on to the wave 6. Yeah.
I think again we had a very good situation. No fleet suffered shame. Like everyone managed to get to at least what is the the benchmark for the
yeah, strong showing from everybody for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what happens.
Play Goblin King of the Darkstorm Galaxy at the end to commemorate my fleet.
But no, that was very good. Like, congratulations to everybody. It's always a joy to see. But no, by the end we usually start really discussing loadouts a little bit. Stay hydrated, drink water regularly. Excuse me. Drinking water. Yeah, drinking water. But
I actually forgot my water, and I'm suffering a little bit because of it.
I was gonna say you always have at least a liter of water on hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof! What a showing! Definitely, it only gets better from here too.
I love these tournaments. I really love these tournaments.
Round 2 finished with, and we're moving on to round 3. Round 3 is Remnants, I believe, right?
Yeah, the Remnant something. Is a Derelict something? The Armada and the Remnant something else. I forgot they're called. Hang on, I'll quickly bring it up.
Of course, thank you for coming by. If you guys,
the Remnant Invasion next week.
Ooh, how ominous! Yeah. But I think with that, do you want to do like shout outs and such?
Thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you, huge thank you to Tartiflight again. Huge thank you to all the mod makers, both the mods, the faction mods, and also those are the background mods, like things like Lazy Wizard and stuff, who just makes mods that every faction relies upon, but then doesn't really get top billing because without things like the libraries that make things up, nothing would actually get done.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think really awesome work out from the modders. Big showing, a lot of stuff Tartiflight is doing. Obviously, shout out to him. We can't shout him out enough. I think just making this run. Shout out to Alex coming by, tweeting the stream, of course, and yeah, just like the awesome game that we have here and that we're playing with, and it just goes on, right? Thank you to Nemo, my co-commentator.
I'm happy to be here. I also want to say thank you to, thank you again. Thank you to both, to Stronger and Sunder, who are going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure whose channel it's going to be on.
I also am not sure if the timing is the exact same. Shooting for roughly the same, I believe, but I think it might work out a little differently. Yeah, we'll have details for sure.
Yeah, keep an eye out on the Discord, and I'm sure word will get to you.
Yeah.
Of when the underdog, like the underdog fleets, like if you haven't watched the underdog series, it's great.
It's fantastic. I got it.
It's a completely different flavor to this. It's insane.
It's definitely a lot of chaos, a lot more flashy, just weirdness, right? Those Borkins.
Okay, it'll be on Sunder's channel, so it's gonna be twitch.tv/Sunders.
Yeah, right there in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next round of Prime League will be next week, and we'll figure out what's going to happen then close to the time.
Besides that, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to stream or anything, or continue to. I might do my Ace Combat run or something like that, but yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Definitely enough Starsector for the day. My fill for the week, for sure.
Oh, okie doke.
But yeah, again, thank you, Nemo, for co-commentating with me. It's been a blast, pleasure.
Yep.
With that, I think I'm going to take off.
Good evening.
You as well. Yeah. You guys haven't already, please, I encourage you to follow the channel. We're always playing stuff, Starsector, all kinds of stuff. Right now I'm doing an Ace Combat playthrough. Always just like playing a lot of stuff. I'm like a variety streamer. Definitely enjoying a lot of the co-commentating. I think next stream it will be on Nemo's channel, and then it will return to mine for like the final round. That's what it's looking like tentatively here. Might change. But yeah, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the love in chat for sure. And definitely all the work that the community has gone into. Just like showing up, being hype in chat is always fantastic. Everybody who's making fleets, everybody who's working on the mods, everything. It's a really neat community, and I appreciate being a part of it for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna take a second to figure out what I'm gonna do here. I think I just want to take a break. My voice is taking quite the beating. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take a much needed break. Yeah. Well, for coming by. Have a good evening. It was quite late for a lot of you. But yeah. Catch you all next time.